Hi everybody. Hi everybody. Hello everybody. Hi. When is it gonna go through? Hi everybody. I'm not trying to be late. It's not loading. I sent it through. Hi. I didn't mean to be late. I'm not late. It's actually, I pressed the live button like a minute before the stream started or something. It's YouTube's fault. Anyways, are you guys ready for my super important announcement? It's super big. I've got good news and bad news. Do you guys want to hear the good news or the bad news first? Don't be in pain. I will cure all of your pain by being just nice. Yeah, I'm glad I'm on. Anyways, my super important announcement was good news and bad news. Do you want good news or bad news first? Okay, the bad news is that I don't have any real announcements. It's just, the bad news is that I don't have any real announcements. The bad news is that I'm gonna keep streaming. Yeah. The bad news is that I don't have any real announcements, and the good news is that because I don't have any real announcements, I'm not gonna graduate. If I ever do like a graduation stream, you should imagine that I'm gonna reincarnate sometime, because I can't imagine myself graduating. It's April Fool's, but except I failed the April Fool's stream idea because I was a bit too silly to notice when the date was. so it's just like an April Fool's joke, but I'm a bit early. It's meant to be April Fool's. Trust me, if I ever graduate, I'm going to commission an artist to, or be like, the thumbnail is not going to be that MS Paint thing. It was an accident. I'm mad with dates. Okay. YouTube said the stream was on the 1st of April. So, anyways, I'll get an actual real thumbnail if I ever graduate. By a minute or something. Yeah, by an hour. It's the first hour of April Fool's or something, I think. Yeah, it should be. This is gonna be the MS Paint. Anyways, we are going to finish Saya. Got tricked by Alt F4 and now forget states. Okay. We're gonna do Saya. This is just another Saya stream. The thumbnail is a joke. Don't worry. I will never graduate. I'll just be an eternal VTuber. Or I'll just drop off the face of the planet instead of graduating. You can interpret that however you want. Okay, there. You can see me now. 2 surprise science streams. Okay, Saya. Yeah, I would love fan art. But I don't want to trouble anyone too much to make it. But I would love seeing fan art of myself. That would be the coolest thing ever. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to start it. No. What? Okay. Return to title screen. Yeah, that was such an awful scene. I can't believe Saya is like into Nidoran. I'm disappointed in her. Okay. Yeah, I hate Fuminari too. Hang on. We'll see if the audio works for Saya this time. I'll do all the voice lines though, by popular demand. Config. Wait. Sound effects. BGM. Okay. Hopefully this works this time. Because that was just like a stream issue. It was working perfectly fine on my end. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this is the bad ending. We're not allowed to have any good endings with Saya. Anyways. Basking in the soft warmth of our love for each other, we sink into the oblivion of sleep. Maybe I should have finished that one. No sleeping, no sleeping. I have a stream. You're not allowed to sleep during my streams. He has been buried alive. What? Yes, it deserves better. His world is the silence and cold of the grave. Ever since his voice gave out and he lost the strength to scream, no coherent thought has passed through Koji's mind. Poor Koji. I feel like the other ending might have been a good one, even though we made Saya sad. If Saya doesn't give in to Kakuri, that's a good thing. I mean, I'll take sad Saya over cucked Saya. The true good ending is the one where Fuminori died in the accident. Maybe Saya will find someone better. Perhaps this is his brain's way of protecting him from despair. Instead, he dreams. Images flash before his eyes, random, unconnected scenes from his 20 years of life. Not all are happy times. There are sad, painful memories as well, but even these are pleasantly warm compared to the death that's now encroaching upon him. He dreams of mountains. His older brother once took him hunting for insects when he was a child. They sealed their caught butterflies in a plastic bag, only to later find themselves holding a bag of tiny corpses. He dreams of his lover. They met at a mixer. What? It was a mixer? Who meets at a mixer? I don't know. Normies, man. Normies. Where he'd been the only one to realize that she couldn't hold her liquor. After she'd had too much to drink, he looked after her while she vomited in the back alley. They toasted each other with canned juice and then... I'm not sure anyone's gonna be saved here. He dreams that he's diving into a black sea. When he reaches the bottom, he looks up to see the moon shining through the surface of the water. As he gazes up at the circle of light, entranced by its roundness and brilliance, the distant rumbling of an engine reaches his ears. Something still conscious within him tells him that this dream is wrong. Have I ever gone diving at night before? Mixers are definitely real, I think. They are, aren't they? The dots began to connect in his mind, forming a barrier to separate his dreams from reality. What is bothering him? Of course, the sound. The engine noise gradually fades to a low idling, then abruptly gives way to silence, followed by the sound of a door opening and closing. This isn't a dream. These sounds are real. Understanding comes like a sudden blow. Bad news, I'm gonna keep eating a VTuber. This isn't the bottom of the sea, and that circle of light isn't the moon. It's the mouth of the well. The sun has already risen and someone's right outside with a car. The last piece falls into place, and he becomes Tono Koji once more. Help! Koji shouts, surprised by how easily his voice emerges. His desperation blocks out the pain of his raw throat. Hey, I'm down here in the well! Help me! I feel like I can't do the voices very well. He keeps screaming with all of his might. Soon, the echoes in the cramped well become deafening, and he's no longer certain if his screams have meaning or if he's just howling wordlessly. Nevertheless, he continues. His only desire is to be heard, lest he die forgotten at the bottom of this well. Koji's wait is not long, but even a minute feels like eternity on the edge of despair. Soon, the circle of light above him is partially eclipsed by the silhouette of a person staring down into the well. Tono, you alive down there? A woman's voice. Koji has heard it somewhere before, but for some reason cannot remember to whom it belongs. Just hold on, I'll get you out. The silhouette vanishes, restoring the light to a perfect circle. Fear of being left alone again threatens to send Koji into a panic, but his reason has recovered enough to resist. Reality is not awesome. There's a thing in uni where you eat sandwiches and drink coffee. Yeah, that sounds pretty nice. I've been to one of those before. She said she's gonna get me out. I haven't been abandoned. While waiting, he gingerly tests his body, which he had forgotten all about until now. His joints ache, and his fingers and toes are numb. But though exhausted, he's still in one piece. By the way, I found out what that sound was last night that was, like, scaring me yesterday. It's the door. It's a door blowing open and closed outside, I think. I heard it better tonight. After some time, the silhouette reappears on the top of the well. Are you hurt? Can you climb a rope on your own? Italia is the demiurge confirmed. I can't confirm or deny. No, I don't think so. Koji lacks the confidence to attempt such a feat. His frozen fingers can barely move. Oh well, I'm coming down! After a brief pause, the owner of the voice tosses a knotted climbing rope into the wall. A snake body. He grabs the rope as soon as it reaches him. The rough threads bite into his palm, and relief nearly overwhelms him at the sensation. This is really happening. He's really safe! Now that he's free from despair, questions leap to the forefront of his mind. First among him, who is the savior? Oh yeah, I fixed the stream from yesterday, but that'll probably, it'll probably take a while to, like, get the blur actually on. YouTube doesn't fix the video for a few hours. The rope shakes as the woman climbs carefully down. The beam from the floodlight slung over her shoulder, pushing back the shadow cast by her body. Soon she's standing in the same mud as Koji, and he finds himself face to face with... Whoa, she thinks it's the door. She didn't catch me. Doctor! Oh, she looks so cute there. Were you expecting someone else? And Koji indeed had not imagined that his savior would turn out to be Dr. Tambo Ryoko. Of course, it took him a moment to recognize her. Instead of a white gown and tight skirt, she's wearing a heavy leather coat, denim jeans, and boots with no heel. She must have expected a hike through the mountains. Don't go down the well. Her light is a blocky all-purpose type. What? Her light? Oh! Wait, like a flashlight? Featuring side-mounted fluorescent runners in addition to the main floodlight. Survival gear. And professional grade by the look of it. The hag saves us. The total... hags. Good. You look awful, Dr. Tambo said spryly as she gives Koji a once-over. Here, drink this. Everyone got killed playing D&D in a while. She pulls a flask out of her pocket and hands it to him. Go slow. Take small sips. It should help a little. Thank you. She walks around with a flask. Maybe Koji's just old-fashioned, but it doesn't seem appropriate for a young woman and a doctor at that. Nevertheless, he unscrews the cap and takes a swig. And struggles to keep from coughing as the potent liquid sears his tongue. Wait, it's alcohol? What is this? It's vodka! Vodka, good for disinfecting wounds in a pinch, and also does a fine job of setting things on fire. She has such a sadistic look on her face. Her tone is straightforward and quite serious. Koji can only gape at the doctor, the dark smile on her face doing little to ease her confusion. If it's a hole, get the fuck away or you'll regret it. Yeah, I've never played D&D before. I mean, I guess that makes sense, because I don't go outside. Jesus. Are you guys telling me that you don't take swigs of vodka? Is this really Dr. Tambo? There's no trace of the bookish, mild-mannered woman Koji met at the hospital. Her expression is now set in a hard mask, and her eyes sharp and wary. In the darkness at the bottom of the well, it's possible, however unlikely, that the change in her features is due to the ominous shadows cast by her lamp. It's not so easy, however, to explain the change in her demeanor. Why are you here? You called me, didn't you? Ryoko replies brusquely, staring at Koji like an annoyed professor. One shot of vodka empties the bottle. I tried calling back, but you didn't answer. Neither did your friend Scuba. Am I supposed to think everything's fine? I assume she's using like super high, super duper alcoholic vodka, like Everclear or something. No, but Koji still doesn't understand why she acted so quickly, but it's a different part of what she says that seizes his attention. Wait, Scuba? You called her too? I definitely should never be a voice actor, man. Like I said, she didn't pick up either. To be honest, I figured you were both dead already. Close. That's right. He almost died, and at the hands of the man he thought was his best friend. Anger and frustration well up inside of him. He can't forgive Fuminori's betrayal, nor can he forgive himself for his foolishness. And now, he has no idea if Scuba is safe. Fuminori tried to kill Koji. Could he have done the same thing to her? Calm down, why don't you? Ryoko says irritably, turning away to examine the inside of the well. There's nothing you can do from here. If you thought something was wrong, then you must have called the police, right? The police? Still engrossed in her examination of the walls, Ryoko laughs scornfully at the idea. So you still think that's the way out, do you? Imagine them walking in on Fuminori playing two Rush monsters. What's that supposed to mean? Annoyed by her condescending attitude, Koji is about to demand answers when she cuts him off with a gesture and shines her light at the corner of the well. Mussolini biography reading when... You didn't notice this, huh? In the light of the lamp, Koji sees that some of the stones are a different shape than the rest of the wall. This must be what Ryoko was looking for. Huh? No, there wasn't enough light. Ryoko's gaze moves slowly along the wall, finally coming to a rest on a gap between two of the stones. The hole is just wide enough for an adult to reach into open-handed. You sure picked the right wall to fall down, Ryoko says with a grim smile. Like they say, it's always the last place you look. She wastes no time thrusting her hand into the opening. After she feels around for a few seconds, Koji hears the thunk of something solid coming together behind the wall. Doctor? Ryoko pulls her hand out and gives the different colored stones a gentle push. With the rumble of weights shifting, the stones slide smoothly back into the wall. Yeah, see, it's super alcoholic. 97% alcohol, and he drank that, man. So that's how he fooled me. I had no idea this was here the last time I came. You've been here before? I don't think she's biting her lip. She's just smiling with like a really, really sadistic smile. Koji wants answers, but Ryoko ignores him and peers into the opening. In the beam of her floodlight, Koji can see a concrete tunnel leading into the mountain. We'll be back. I'll get back to Lobotomy Corporation maybe next stream. I feel like I should do a chat stream sometime. You'll get paid once you survive a week of it. You'll get your $1 then. We're playing Sayanouta. I'm going on ahead. You better stay here. Her warning is utterly devoid of warmth. Considering his options, Koji looks from the tunnel to the rope and back again. He's practically sweating now, thanks to the 190 proof vodka he just drank. See, it's strong. It's really strong. I don't remember what percentage 190 proof is, but that's gotta be like super strong, right? But although feeling has returned to his fingers, he still doesn't have the strength to climb. That said, the thought of him being alone in the well again makes him shiver. Yeah, that would be funny. I'll go too. Please take me with you. Huh, have it your way. Ryoko steps into the tunnel without looking back, and Koji doesn't hesitate to follow. You were pretty different the last time we met, Koji says sarcastically, following Ryoko as she moves cautiously down the tunnel with her light leading the way. 95%, that's... Wow. This isn't the hospital, and you're not my patient. This service doesn't come with a smile. So this is who you really are? I wonder. Does it matter? Ryoko suddenly stops and stares at the floor. When Koji looks over her shoulder, he sees a dust-covered rope lying coiled up in the middle of the path. What is it? Something left by the last guy who came down that well. Ryoko picks up the rope, examines it, and hands it to Koji. It's about twice as long as my rope. It has a knot in it, and both ends have been severed. They were connected before to make a circle. Huh? You loop one end of the circle around something topside, and then use the rest to climb down the well. When you're at the bottom, you cut the circle open and pull the whole rope in with you. That way, there's nothing to show where you went. Creepy. I wonder what anyone would do with a rope like that. Ryoko shines her light down the tunnel, revealing that it ends in a closed wooden door about 10 meters ahead. That's how he avoided detection. Really got me good. You said you've been here before? Yeah, you and Sakisaka aren't the only ones, Ryoko says dryly. I checked the old guy's cabin a while back. Whoa! What a gun! As Ryoko speaks, she opens her coat and pulls out what she had hanging underneath it. If there aren't any other exits, then he's still behind that door. I, for one, personally love getting blackout drunk and waking up with chemical burns in my throat. At first, Koji thinks that she's holding a steel pipe. Amazed that she would be carrying a weapon, Koji looks closer and is appalled when he realizes what it really is. A gun. And not one of those sleek handguns you've seen in the movies, but a double-barreled shotgun. The stock and barrels have been sawed down for easier concealment, enhancing its aura of brutal efficiency. Yeah, there's no way to get back up. How is she gonna get back up? What is that? A 12 gauge, Ryoko says blandly, as though naming a brand of cigarettes. I don't have a permit, and cutting it down would be illegal even if I did. Any other questions? What are you planning to do with that thing? Ryoko looks over her shoulder and gives Koji her most chilling smile yet. When I first learned what Ogai was doing, I was a model citizen, never even having gotten a ticket. The woman whom Koji believed was just a normal doctor waves her sawed-off shotgun menacingly as she continues, her tone sharp and bitter. If I'd had this back then, I could have killed Ogai before he got away. Maybe then, none of this would have happened. I feel bad about that, really. Koji listens in silence, helpless to do anything but watch as understanding moves farther and farther out of his grasp. In other words, everything I do from here on out is to clean up this mess that you and your friends have stepped in. Wanna see a magic trick? Remember that and don't ask any unnecessary questions. Got it? Koji can only nod weakly in response. With the light in her left hand and the shotgun in her right, Ryoko walks up to the door and takes a deep breath. Kurt Cobain's best instrument! Then she kicks down the door open, putting her full weight behind the blow. With a disappointingly feeble sound, the door breaks off its hinges and falls into the room. Dust billows like white smoke in the beam of Ryoko's light. The room is large, at least 35 meters square. The tiled floor is set with drainage gates, and there's no mistaking the operating table sitting in the middle of the room. Cabinets full of enamelware and drugs line one side of the space, and against the opposite wall stand a writing desk and bookshelves. Those things Koji recognizes. The mysterious objects cluttering the tables and shelves, however, are beyond his comprehension. Mirrors delicately engraved with complex patterns, grotesque statues and masks that have been left in a race of savages, tapestries, woven in nauseating arrays of color, a crystal ball the size of an infant's head. Any would fetch a hefty price at an antique store, if not for the one thing they all have in common. Every last piece is so loathsome and foul that Koji feels sick just looking at it. It's as though each was designed for the sole sinister purpose of immortalizing its creature's hatred of the world. Yes. Rare-looking books of the sort that he found in Ogai's home are piled here and there, and on one shelf are stacked some scrolls that look to be made of some sort of sheepskin or papyrus. Whatever it is, it's not paper. Oh, but I don't want to get banned from YouTube. I want some sanity-ending bans, but not YouTube banning ones. And I only want them to be like filled with cute girls. Does it have tons and tons of cute girls? I mean, basically all VNs do. That's the main appeal. Finally, there are the indecipherable chalk patterns and symbols filling every available space on the walls. Even the 2 sliding blackboards are covered in strange, unreadable scribblings. Just looking at them is making Koji dizzy. Don't look, Ryoko snaps at him. Listen, don't move, and whatever you do, don't touch anything. Even if something draws your attention, don't look at it. A Tsukihime stream would be pretty fun. If you see something that feels wrong, stare at your shoes. Got it? Oh, there's a like a pentagram there. I just noticed. Yeah. Ryoko switches her lights through fluorescent runners on and sets them in a nearby table where it can illuminate the whole room. She then holsters her shotgun, only to pull out an even more confusing set of tools. A digital camera and a can of spray paint. Oh, poor cute girls. I can save them. She gives the can in her hand a good shake, switches the camera in her right hand on, and she's filming it? And steps up to the blackboard while looking at the camera's side-mounted screen. Oh yeah. Mahalia is nice, but Mahalia is like a bit long. Then again, I guess Tsukihime is too. Yeah, just act awkward and stare at your shoes. After recording one set of symbols, she covers it with a thick layer of paint and then moves on to the next. Doctor? Lesson 1. Never look at strange symbols or read anything written in unusual languages like Latin. God, bros, don't read Latin. It's all demonic curses. Never read Latin. Every time you see some Latin, you gotta use a camera to record it for later and then paint over the original. Make sure to do this in your churches. Now that she mentions it, Koji realizes she's only looking at the screen of her camera. Even then, only in short glimpses, and never directly at any of the drawings. He understands what she's saying, but it still doesn't make any sense. Why do you have to? Now that you've come this far, you better shut up and listen for your own good. Exactly, what's wrong with Latin? Things like crystal balls and mirrors are dangerous. Don't go anywhere near a mirror, you guys. Anything can happen if you break them, so it's best to cover them with a cloth or paint over them for the time being. Oh, for sure, Roman styles. Koji begins to fear that this doctor might be even crazier than Fuminori. Despite the burst of energy he received from the vodka, Koji is still exhausted from his night in the wall. The fear is affecting his body, making him dizzy and nervous. Soon the walls are covered in black paint and the stale air is thick with the smell of turpentine. That should do it for now, Ryoko says with relief, and then tosses the empty can away and puts away her video camera. What happened to old guy? Koji asks, supporting himself against a nearby table. Oh, he was over there. Without stopping her examination of the papers on the writing table, Ryoko points nonchalantly to a Chinese-style screen standing in one corner of the room. Saya is a good girl. He was there. Her clinical choice of tense makes her meaning instantly obvious. If the lady with the shotgun told you this, it's the shotgun with the barrel sawed off too. You'd be quiet. I gotta point shotguns at all of you and make you come to my streams. I wonder if that'd work. The urge to see for himself is irresistible. Koji staggers across the room to the screen, taking utmost care not to look at the scaly octopus thing that's painted on it. Behind the screen is a large, easy chair. Although he's never met the man before, Koji's fairly certain that the person sitting in it is Ogai Masahiko. No. Ogai's corpse must have shrunk significantly while drying in this sealed chamber. The body is barely the size of a child's, with only the business suit hanging from the bones offering any hint of Ogai's former stature. His empty eye sockets and wide-open jaw are filled with darkness, the same darkness that surrounded Koji at the bottom of the well. Compared to those gaping voids, the tiny hole in Ogai's right temple is almost a mirror. The revolver that he presumably used to kill himself is still clenched in his dangling right hand. It looks like a child's toy compared to Ryoko's shotgun. Ryoko must have noticed Ogai's corpse while she was spray painting the walls, and still, she kept working without batting an eyelash. Impressive, though not exactly surprising after what he's been through. It's getting difficult to remember the last time he spoke to someone sane. But if not for her, Koji reminds himself with a bitter smirk. He would have ended up joining this mummified corpse here, and no one would have ever found him. Koji's vision suddenly dims. He's pushed himself too hard, and the vodka can't help him anymore. Is Saya winning yet? He collapses to the floor, unable to hang on to his slipping consciousness, and the last thing he sees are Olga and Masahiko's gaping eye sockets staring at him. When he wakes, Koji finds himself lying on something dry and soft. A bed is a bed, he thinks to himself, even one that smells of mold and dust, especially after sleeping in cold mud all night. There are no lights hanging from the ceiling, but the soft, warm light of a lamp fills the room. Simple furnishings, non-existent decor. Koji realizes that he's in Olgai's cabin, in the bedroom that he searched before Fuminori pushed him into the well. You awake? Ryoko is sitting in a chair against the wall, her expression blank as she studies the pile of documents on the table around her. She must have brought them up from Olgai's underground lab. She turns the page, then takes a bite from the sandwich in her free hand. If you feel up to eating, there's food over there. Honestly, despite the shotgun, she's pretty nice. Without looking up from the files, she gestures towards the convenience store bag sitting on the nightstand. How did I get here? Koji can't imagine that a woman, even a woman like Ryoko, could have climbed out of the well with him on her back. There was a door behind one of the bookshelves down there. Ryoko mutters, taking care not to let the explanation interfere with her reading or eating. When I finally got it open, it led to the boiler room underneath the cabin. The other side was hidden by a thin layer of mortar. I figure that's how he got most of his supplies down there. Once he had everything he needed, he could seal it up and use the well instead. Pretty thorough. Was there really something in there that he needed to hide? There used to be. This is the last of it. Having finished her sandwich, Ryoko picks up some unsorted papers with her free hand and waves them in the air. Not all scholars want to get on stage at a symposium and show their research to the world, you know. Some nutcases get their kicks by learning secrets no one else knows and by being buried with those secrets in hidden tombs that no one will ever find. Koji still hasn't the slightest idea what Olgai's secret must have been. From what Ryoko said in that tunnel, however, he can guess Fuminori is somehow involved. Gets shot, that's weak. Dies. What happens to Fuminori? Koji asks desperately, no longer caring who he gets his answers from. What does that have to do with the body down there? Just what is it that you're after? That's what I'm trying to find out, Ryoko replies coldly, as though Koji's concerns are none of hers. Sakisaka told me that he was acting on behalf of one of Olgai's relatives. Yes, he told me that's the same thing. Oh, well, at least that's consistent. Ryoko pulls several sheets of loose-leaf paper from a different file. Dying is gay. Becomes immortal. The truth is that Olgai has no relatives. I thought that Sakisaka was simply lying. However, there was another possibility I should have considered. He might have been tricked by someone claiming to be Olgai's family. Ryoko pauses and then looks sidelong at Koji. Does the name Saya ring a bell? Saya? No, who is that? Who is Saya? Who or what is the question, but the more I read, the less I understand. She sighs bitterly, then returns her attention to the papers in her hand. All I can say for sure is that it appears to have been the focus of Olgai's research. If Sakisaka is involved with whatever Saya is, then he's already past the point of no return. The icy certainty in Ryoko's voice sends a chill down Koji's spine. Saya is a good girl. Saya is a good girl. Saya wife. If so, then what will you do? He has to ask, even though he already knows the answer. It's like I said, Ryoko smiles, smirking at the tension in Koji's voice. I have no idea how many times I'd wish I killed Olgai when I had the chance. I won't make the same mistake twice. If I go to the police, it'll all be over. Ryoko doesn't respond, as though she didn't even hear what Koji just said. Fuminori tried to kill me. Koji continues persistently. If I report him, he'll be arrested, and then... Ryoko cuts him off harshly. You have witnesses? Proof? What was Sakisaka's motive? Yeah, I turned off the voices by popular demand last stream. I can turn them back on if people want. You know, Tonal, you're completely misunderstanding what the police do. Their job isn't to fight for justice or even to keep people safe. What are you saying? Finding reasonable explanations for unreasonable events. That's what the police are for. They will always choose to believe the simplest, most logical explanation. Just like how water always flows downhill. They aren't interested in the truth. They don't know or care that the truth is often stranger than fiction. They can't all be like that. I won't know until I try. Yeah, Saya's voice is cute, but Saya isn't on screen, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Exactly, Ryoko states as she pulls another sandwich out of the bag. That's the problem. I don't think I'm cuter than Saya. I'll keep voicing the lines until we get to Saya, and then I might turn them on. She hasn't spared Koji a second glance while looking at him earlier. Even while talking, her attention is always focused on the papers in front of her. Let's say you accuse your friend of pushing you into a well. In addition to your statement, the police will consider 2 alternate versions of the truth. Maybe you're all making it up to frame your friend. Or even simpler, it was an accident. You fell into the well by yourself, and the shock has made you paranoid or delusional. 3 possibilities will compete to see which comes out with the most convincing evidence. No one knows which will be the winner. Are you willing to bet everything you have on your truth? Koji has no response. Can he really explain with cold, clear logic what drove Fuminori to do what he did? How can he convince anyone else when he doesn't even understand it himself? And here's the biggest problem, Ryoko says calmly, cutting into Koji's thoughts. While you're raising hell with the police, we'll lose our chance to corner Sakisaka. If he sees trouble coming, he'll go into hiding, and then we'll be right back at square one. She pauses to take a bite of her sandwich before finishing. Just like when I let Olgai get away. A heavy silence falls upon them, with only the soft rustle of pages turning in Ryoko's hands to mark the passage of time. Please tell me, Doctor, Koji says, his hushed voice breaking through the quiet. What crime is so unforgivable that you're determined to take justice into your own hands? What exactly did Olgai do in that room down there? Once again, Ryoko ignores Koji's question. This time, however, Koji doesn't back down. His silent glare demands her attention as she pours through the documents before her. After some time, Ryoko rearranges the papers in her hands and sets them aside, as though having come to some conclusion. She then turns her chair to face Koji for the first time since he awoke. Crime is bad. Listen, Tono. Her hard stare belies the calmness of her voice. You need to get out of this while you still can. There are a lot of fine hot springs around here. Go relax and don't return to Tokyo until you're ready to forget any of this ever happened. Forget? Koji feels anger rise within him. Omi was my girlfriend. Fuminori was my best friend. And you're telling me to forget about them? Yeah, forget about them. Ryoko replies, coolly rebuffing Koji's anger. This isn't a suggestion. It's a warning. Crime is legal for the next 24 hours. Whatever they were to you, that's all over now. You'll never see them again. I guarantee it. Crime is always legal. The police don't want you to know this, but you're never going to get in trouble for crime. I mean, for like 99.9, I don't know. The vast majority of crimes are unprosecuted. If you want to commit any crime, you can probably commit it scot-free. So, even if crime was legal, I wouldn't bother. Then what about Tsukuba? Koji shouts, unable to control himself. The law really isn't real. She begged me for help on the phone. Something terrible was happening to her. And how many hours ago was that? Do you know how much time has passed since I saved you? How much longer do you think you would have lasted down there if I hadn't? She shakes her head and then declares coldly, It's too late. She's already dead. Don't expect everyone to be as lucky as you. You heartless! Koji growls, unable to suppress his anger. If you'd found me dead in that well, you wouldn't have thought anything of it, would you? I was prepared for that, of course. I mean, she still came to save him, man! Ryoko says with a shrug, unfazed by Koji's ire. I hardly expected to find you alive. It's futile to argue with this woman, Koji realizes. Her values are fundamentally different from his own. Nothing he can say will ever move her. Koji gets out of bed and stands on shaky legs. How long have I been asleep? About half a day. I envy your ability to recover so quickly. It's a privilege of youth, so enjoy it while it lasts. Koji looks at his watch and sees that it's 4 in the morning, which means it's already early in the morning when Ryoko rescued him. He can't believe he survived in that well for almost 2 days. I can! Now that the gaps in his memory have been filled and his sense of time has returned, he realizes it's already Sunday morning. Ryoko's right. A lot of time has passed since he spoke to Yo on the phone. Koji grabs a sports drink and 2 jelly packs from the bag of food that Ryoko bought, and then heads for the door. His legs are still unsteady, but he can compensate for that with sheer willpower. Just to make sure, mind telling me where you're going? Tokyo, Koji replies brusquely, his tone as hard as hers. Tsukuba might still be alive. I'm going to save her. Don't do that. She is still alive. She is still alive. Don't do that. You just don't listen, do you? I could say the same about you. Koji is expecting Ryoko to go and watch him go with that cold, mocking smile of hers. Instead, however, she sighs heavily and rests her jaw in her hands. Can't you wait a little longer? Somewhere in here? She thrusts her chin, and the mountain of papers in front of her is the answer to what that thing called Saya is. I think you should wait until I figure that out and come up with a plan to deal with it. You would think that, since you're already convinced that Tsukuba is dead. In truth, Koji is extremely uneasy about going in alone. What difference does little bit longer make? At the same time, however, he knows he mustn't depend on Ryoko. She's made it clear that she doesn't care about saving lives. Teaming up with her will only make it more difficult to salvage something, anything, out of this nightmare. Dono, Ryoko calls just before Koji steps out of the door. You almost got killed once already. Don't let it happen again. She picks something up from the table and tosses it to Koji. And when Koji catches it, he feels its solid weight fill his hands. A gun? Koji stares at the menacing shape of cold metal. It's a revolver, the same one that was clenched in Ogai's skeletal fist. It has 4 more shots. There's no safety, so just pull the trigger to fire. How you use it is up to you. If Koji were his usual cautious self, he would not hesitate to reject the dangerous offering. The only time you truly need a gun is when all hope is lost. He'd prefer not to fight a losing war. Real anti-gun here. And yet, without even knowing it, Koji had already set foot into Ryoko's world. Choosing instinct over reason, he accepts the small but deadly weapon and stuffs it into his pocket. There's no question that Koji intends to save Yo and bring Fuminori to answer for his crimes. In the back of his head, however, he can hear the footsteps of ruin approaching. He could live! He shouldn't go there. He shouldn't go there. He should just chill out here. When he steps out of the cabin's front door, Koji shivers as the wind tears into his skin. I used the gun to get the shotgun with this one simple trick. To his surprise, the outside air is even colder than the mud at the bottom of the well. Perhaps the cramped space mitigated the cold somewhat. If he had been exposed to this chill all night long, he would have surely frozen to death. Koji finds 2 cars parked in the yard. The smaller car next to his must be Ryoko's. When he sits behind the wheel of his car, he gets some relief from the feeling that he has taken the first step, however small, back into this world. They haven't called the cops because the law is... No. It's right. You shouldn't go to the cops. The law isn't real. I don't trust them. I don't trust the police. He sips the sports drink, wetting his parched throat, and then washes down some jelly. His stomach rebels at the sudden influx of food after 36 hours on empty, but he manages to force down the urge to vomit. Koji needs the energy. No matter how hard it is, he must regain enough stamina to overcome the challenges ahead. After forcing down as much food as he can handle, Koji leans back in his seat and takes a short break. When he begins to feel like himself again, he reaches into the back seat and pulls a spare cell phone out of his bag. No, the law is fake. The law is fake. Yes, I'm the law. You should listen to me. Always listen to me. He never expected that carrying 2 phones would be such a stroke of luck. As he calls up Fuminori's number and prepares to hit send, Koji is overcome by a flood of emotion. Exactly. Only 36 hours without sleeping? Weak. Back in my day, you took the law into your own hands. Now we just let these cops do it for us. They took our jobs! Rage, despair, sorrow, pity. He's unable to decide what to feel towards his friend. However, there's no time to dwell on the past. Every second lost diminishes the chances of saving Omi and Yol. Koji refuses to consider that it may already be too late. He steels himself and presses the button, then holds the phone to his ear as it rings. The shrill sound seems to go on for longer than it ever has in his life. Can these people, like, learn a little bit of logic? Stop trying to walk into Fuminori's house when everyone that goes there goes missing. This is clearly not a good idea. Right now, Fuminori's phone must be displaying the name of the caller. Koji wonders what his reaction will be when he sees it. And the call goes through. In the silence on the other end of the phone, Koji senses surprise, apprehension, and dark fury. Feeling slightly gratified, Koji delivers the first jab. What? Weren't expecting a call from a dead man? I'm surprised. How did you manage it? As Koji is about to answer, an idea suddenly comes to him. There's a secret passage in the well, Koji says, a plan forming rapidly in his mind. It led to a hidden underground lab. He pauses to let that sink in. Then, with satisfaction filling his voice, he says, I met Ogai Masahiko. Fuminori's gasp tells Koji that the advantage is his. Keeping his voice bold, he decides to further exaggerate the truth. I know everything. I know it all. Everything about Saya. You're finished, Fuminori. I've got all the proof I need to blow this thing wide open. You won't even see it coming. You son of a bitch! It's obvious from Fuminori's tone that rage has overwhelmed his reason. Koji's bluff is working perfectly. His victory is tainted, however, as Fuminori's response to the name Saya brings a cry of anguish from the corner of his heart that still wants to believe that his friend can be saved. If Sakisaka is involved with whatever Saya is, Ryoko's words play back in his head, sounding even colder than before. And then he's already past the point of no return. He mustn't allow any emotion to save him. It's easy not to eat that long, but it's inconvenient long enough and you need a doctor before you start eating again. Anything under like a week and you should be fine. Where are Omi and Yol? Koji suddenly switches topics, trying to keep Fuminori off balance. It all comes down to this. Depending on your answer, I might be willing to cut you a deal. If you swear not to cause any more harm, I'll forget about what you did to me and what I found at the cabin. I don't want anything more to do with you and Saya anyways. All I want is for Omi and Yol to be safe. Omi and Yol. Fuminori's voice trails off. He's obviously trying to decide how far Koji can be trusted and whether there's a room for negotiation. Fuminori has been called out and it's time for him to show his hand. I honestly don't know anything about Omi. She never came by my house. Yol, on the other hand. Fuminori pauses and then gives a knowing chuckle that sends chills up Koji's spine. Well, I wonder if she'll really want to leave. She's with you, isn't she? And Koji is relieved to learn Yo's location, and that she is at least still alive. Yeah, about that. I'm not sure if you can say that she's still alive, man. At the same time, however, he remembers that horrifying phone call. It's clear now that Fuminori played some part in Yo's suffering. Had she already fallen into his trap back then? What has happened to her? How is she being treated? About that. No. Her wish has finally come true, Fuminori says with venomous sarcasm. She's my property now. I guess you and Omi got what you wanted after all. But Koji feels despair settle over his soul. How much lower will this man go? Must Fuminori seek out and destroy every memory of the friendship they had once shared? She's something. Let Scuba go. When I'm sure she's safe, I'll destroy everything I have on you and Saya. How can I trust you? First, I want you to. I'm not giving you a choice here, Fuminori. Koji instinctively realizes that it's dangerous to push his bluff any further. I'll call again, later. You have until then to make up your mind. He hangs up without waiting for a response. Yeah. That's... what happened to Yo is pretty bad. Fuminori doesn't know that Koji is still at the cabin in Tochigi. Right now, he's probably worrying about whether Koji will show up in 1 hour or 1 minute. Koji hopes that he'll be able to take advantage of Fuminori's confusion. 3 hours. That's how long it'll take to race all the way back to Tokyo. Koji is afraid that his body won't carry him through such a long drive. His mind is clear, but his limbs still feel half asleep, like they're weighed down with lead. While he only knows he has to stay resolute, Koji still longs for the peace he had just a few days ago, when life or death struggles were the furthest thing from his mind. And back then, he could have never imagined himself fighting to rescue a friend from the clutches of a madman. With each passing moment, he feels himself becoming less like the person he was. When all this is over, will he be able to return to his old life? Or will this change continue until it's consumed him utterly? His friends are all dead. He is not returning to his old life. Nobody is. And time is against him. Every second that passes is wasted. Even so, he decides to allow himself just 5 minutes of weakness. For exactly 5 minutes, he leans against the steering wheel and cries. When his tears have run dry and his heart is calm, Koji starts up his car and drives away. I stare at the silent phone in my hand. There's anger, of course, but something cold and heavy holds my emotions in check. The sense of danger. To be honest, I'm surprised at how calm I am. Master? Yola looks up at me apprehensively. No! No! Oh, this is so horrible. This is so horrible. Okay. Okay. Just give me a second. I can't quite reading this line. Yo looks up at me apprehensively, her head between my thighs. I don't think anything bad is gonna be on the screen. Yeah, I'm surprised she can talk. I don't think we're gonna get any bad CGs, but this is the Steam version. Doesn't matter what I say. Am I allowed to say stuff like this? I kind of hope I'm not, because I don't really want to say stuff like this, but okay. Yo looks up at me apprehensively, her head between my thighs. She was attending to me throughout the call. The remaining fragments of her memory seem to have joined together, and she has gained some degree of speech. Upon realizing this last night, Saya began to teach her language once more. Don't be mad. Yo will try harder. The pleasure from her ministrations threatens to impede my thoughts. And besides, she's just giving him a lecture. She's just reading the Bible to him. Trust, nothing bad is going on here. And besides, my arousal has already vanished. At first, I consider making her stop. When I gaze into her puppy dog eyes, however, I begin to think differently. Yeah. That's... Thanks to Saya, I have a family. Quote-unquote family. Once again. For the first time, I am becoming aware of the responsibility that places on me. I'm now head of a new Sakisaka household, as well as its only male member. This cockery! No cucking Saya! No, this is not... No. Oh, how dare he do this to Saya? The author's very clear and disgusting fetish. Yeah, literally. Yeah. As well as its only male member, it's my duty to protect, comfort, and ensure the happiness of the women living under my roof. With that in mind, I know. What? My camera fell over! No! What? 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 Ah! So hard to get my camera in position. Ah! Okay. I think I'm back. Yes. I'm back. Saya, don't get in the cuck chair. No! No! Yeah, this is miserable, man. With that in mind, I know I mustn't show any fear or confusion. That would only cause them distress. Continue. Oh, no. Yes, master. Oh, no. Let's see who you really are. Horror game removes mask. Nidorear game, it was you all along. Is there really something more horrifying than Nidorear? I entrust myself to Yo's eager touch, basking in the pleasure with one part of my mind, while contemplating our current predicament with the other. It's clear that I made a grave error when I failed to finish Koji off 2 days ago. Right now I need to set my frustration and anger aside to deal with this problem logically. By the way, my camera is just on top of the Fumo. I love crap, but it's just born. It's time to leave. I have no way of knowing when Koji escaped from the well, or how much he has learned, or how many people he has had contact with since then. Glyphing just the parts where Talia reads Yo's line for future use. No! Now that it's impossible to know how far the problem has spread, merely disposing of Koji won't guarantee your safety. And when the enemy has poisoned your water supply, you can't take the risk that even one drop might remain. Your only choice is to stop drinking the water. Oh, Saya! Okay, wait. Do you guys want Saya lines on or not? Okay, I'm gonna turn on Saya lines and I'll read everything out. Still. Hang on. Apply. What? I didn't do it. Ah, I failed. Apply. Exit. As Saya returns from the kitchen, where she'd gone in search of a midnight snack, she's munching on her favorite. Spare ribs. Yes, my Fumo slave. Hold my camera, just like that. Yes, it's a Marissa, by the way. It's on her hat. Purging myself of unease and impatience, I respond with a casual shrug. I am like literally Alice. I have a bunch of dolls and I make them do my bidding. Should I read them out as well, or should I just let them play for anyone who is listening in the background? It looks like we have a little problem. That bastard Koji is still alive.
Arama.
She's so cute. I miss Saya so much. Ada. Oh dear. By breaking the news suddenly and without any trace of anxiety, I am able to avoid frightening Saya. Instead, she's merely surprised. I knew that remaining calm would work. If Saya was shot, probably not. Moreover, I'm currently— Ah! Ugh, no! Do I have to say these things? Moreover, I'm currently being pleasured by Yo. It would be hard for anyone to get too serious under these circumstances. Saya, it might be best if we leave this house. This is awful. Soka. Saya's lines are so cute. Saya lowers her eyes and strokes her chin thoughtfully. I wish I could do that. I wish I had like full body tracking and I could stroke my chin.
まあ、どっちみち鈴見さんの一家に消えたのもバレるから。
Can we just
この
play
件から
Hello
騒がし
Kitty?
くなってただろうし、
Your minds need to be
遅かれ早かれ
cleansed from
こういう
this
日が来て
horror.
たと思うよ。
This is bound to happen sooner or later. Even without Koji, it's only a matter of time before someone reports the Suzumi family missing.
うん。
Saya nods. I can tell she's reluctant to leave, but at least there's no sadness in her in her expression. Forget the mental asylum ending. Fuminori should have gotten the chair. Everything will be fine. Maybe the mental asylum ending really was the good one. Oh man. I will protect my life with Saya just as I have up until now. I have that power. Knowing that we've overcome one problem fills me with new confidence. I wonder what would have happened if Saya met like a decent human being instead of Fuminori.
大丈夫。安
Now
心してい
then,
いよ。
we'd better get ready.
じゃあ急いで支度しよ
Saya is so cute. Oh, Nita Rare is bad. Nita Rare. We can travel light and take the Suzumi family car. I'd better withdraw everything that's left in my bank account and carry it as cash. I also need a weapon. Something more reliable than a butcher's knife. It's not the Eldritch Horror that's scary, that's horrifying about this game. No, it's the Nita Rare. That's what makes it a horror game. Not Saya, no. Koji will most likely follow. He thinks that Yol can still be saved. However, I'm not abandoning this house just to run away. As long as Koji knows our location, we're stuck on the defensive. Leaving gives me the chance to regain the initiative. And deal with him at a place of my choosing. The next time we meet, I'll kill him with my own two hands. I'll make sure to wring every last drop of life out of his body. A shiver runs through me as I anticipate the battle ahead, and my bloodlust. I'm not saying that. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. When Ryoko looks up, the morning sun is already streaming in through the window. Tired from hours of poring over files, she removes her glasses and massages her aching eyes. Her dreams are always filled with horror, yet the night she just spent was more nightmarish than them all. And it's not over yet. She only has just set foot on the threshold. As expected, the files left by Olgai were not the sort that Ryoko could simply pick up and read. Insane cannibals eating the world and people as flesh. I sleep. Sai getting cut. No, stop. Too scary. Too scary. Real. So real. Unfortunately, Olgai had been too old-fashioned to put his trust in electronic media. If he'd encrypted his files on a computer, then she'd had to find a hacker to decipher him. Fuminori should have just put Yo on the line so she could tell Koji she wanted to reply. No! That would be too horrible. In fact, he had not employed any kind of code in his writing. That would have made it too time-consuming by hand. The method of obfuscation he did use was quite simple. We are far past the point of plausible deniability. Out of the files Ryoko pulled from his underground lab, the majority turned out to be notes and theses or these. I feel like that's a typo. Maybe I'm just having a stroke though. The important papers were the diaries and research notes that have been scattered throughout the piles of worthless scrap. At first, she was unable to understand the documents that she had found. Each sheet was covered with text on one side and blank on the other. Each line was completely unrelated to the next, making it impossible to glean any meaning from the whole. The trick revealed itself, however, when she was sorting the pages that made no sense. She found that each line continued on the same line of a different page. Oh, yeah! Yeah, it is! I totally forgot about that. Theses. Yes, I didn't realize. I forgot that Cece's was spelled like that. Maybe I am having a stroke. Maybe I do have dementia. Huh. Huh. In Ogai's diary, for example, the first day began with the first line, then continued not with the next line, but on the first line on the next page. Similarly, the second day was the second line, the third day was the third line, and so on forth. After filling all the lines on one set of pages, Ogai had torn them out and scattered them among all his files. There was no regularity to how the pages were numbered, of course. Unable to locate any sort of key or legend, Ryoko had no choice but to figure out the page order manually. Yeah. Yeah. We're putting all of the Nidoran guys to death, man. Despite knowing that the task would be exhausting, Ryoko set to it valiantly. After separating all the loose-leaf sheets from the jumbled files, she began the painstaking process of linking pages together according to the contents of the first line. She found that Ogai had dismantled and scattered his diary each time. He had completed a number of pages equal to the lines on one page, and had done the same with his research notes every 30 pages or so. The diary was much easier to restore, because the entries varied in length. Later pages had a larger number of blank lines. The page with only one line, therefore, was the last page of the diary, and those with the most blank spaces could be considered closer to the end. Yes! Because Saya is the true main character, and we are cucking Saya. And Saya is best girl, and Saya is precious. You should be self-inserting as Saya, not Fuminori. Ryoko's perseverance has paid off, for she has already succeeded in restoring several volumes of Ogai's diary. In fact, it might actually be worse to have a fantasy of like cucking your cute girlfriend than, you know, anything else. I mean, imagine harming Saya. That's evil. Ryoko's perseverance has paid off for... I feel like I already said that. For she's already succeeded in restoring several volumes of Ogai's diaries. As she reads them, she feels despair draining her spirit, as it has so many times before. Feverish looking up. Can I refund a game I gifted on Steam? Too late now. I wouldn't call this a harem, man. This is too extreme. What? A Siamese that you're being public. Luminari, no! Oh no! Yeah, good point. Self-inserting a Saya would be nightmarish. The cursed feeling of powerlessness that comes with knowing hidden truths. Those who have tasted it once shall be beaten down by it again and again until the day they die. The secrets are connected, after all. Once you've glimpsed even the tiniest fraction of the world's true face, you have no choice but to watch in horror as the veil rolls itself back inch by inch. All that remains is to wait for the day where insanity will crush your reason under its ever-mounting weight. Not human pets. Are you sure about that? I think a harem is always human pets. Would you really have a harem if you were treating the girls like girls and not pets? I've succeeded in communicating with the organism. It shows enormous curiosity and its intelligence is beyond doubt. See research notes for confirmed vocal patterns and body language. Its appetite for knowledge is insatiable, and its learning speed is off the charts. However, it exhibits absolutely no desire to be recognized as an individual. Its ego appears to be quite weak, suggesting a psyche wholly unlike that of a human. The speed of the organism's linguistic development is astounding, and when I laughed at its mispronunciations, it immediately picked up the concept of puns. Ever since, it's been employing its entire vocabulary in an attempt to find puns that will make me laugh. Perhaps in a few days' time it will have learned enough language for us to communicate freely. The organism's command of spoken language is now sufficient to facilitate higher-level discourse. But, although it's regaled me with questions all day, it remains unable to answer any of mine. The guitar riff always happens when something bad happens. Its replies suggest that it's gained awareness only after materializing in this universe. It has no knowledge of where it came from. While I'm disappointed, the fact that it has reached this level of intelligence after only 1 week After starting to think, it tells me that there's no end to what I can learn from it. Hypotheses. It's not a naturally occurring organism, but was created by an even more sophisticated sentient life form. This would explain why it has no ego, yet possesses such a hunger for knowledge. It might be some sort of reconnaissance drone that was sent here from another world. This guy should have just stuck with making soundtracks. Ryoko smiles humorously for the upteenth time since she started reading. How wonderful it could be if she could laugh the diary off as the delusions of a madman or the work of a science fiction author. Alas, she knows far too much. When she thinks back to the many horrors that Ogai brought into her life, the words before her take on chilling credibility. Ew, yeah. I've confirmed that the organism's brain power far surpasses any humans. This morning I taught it about prime numbers. After I explained the Lucas-Lamer test for... What? I'm too dumb for this. It began to list examples that it had calculated in its head. I was only able to confirm by memory up to number 10, M89, but it continued to list further examples without any trouble. I left it to its calculations, and when I returned a few hours later, I discovered that it had written down more than 70 of them. Computers all over the world are currently working to calculate primes, but the last one I remember being found was the 39th back in 2001. When I entered several of the results into my laptop and ran the Lucas-Lamer test on them, I found that everyone was correct. The same is no doubt true of the rest. After all, the organism has never shown the pathological need for respect that would lead it to lie about its accomplishments. I see no reason to doubt its veracity. If I could reveal to the world an expedient method for discovering primes, the prize money would make me a billionaire. You're a lion, not someone educated. The author should have kept it to simpler terms. Real. The prize money would make me a billionaire. Of course, my current research is worth far more than any sum of money. I must keep it secret. The organism's computational speed exceeds that of even the most powerful supercomputers. I can only conclude that its cognitive faculties are far beyond anything humanity can imagine. At the organism's request, we have begun a new field of study. Despite its immeasurable aptitude for mathematics, it now desires to concentrate on sociology and the natural sciences. Perhaps our math problems are simply too elementary for it. It's shown especially keen interest in the means by which organisms reproduce and multiply, because of course! As it possesses nothing that could be called emotion, I hesitate to use this description, but when I learned about DNA, it seemed somehow excited. In fact, the organism itself seemed surprised by its reaction. When asked about the nature of the impulse, the organism decided to label it instinct. If this description is indeed accurate, then this is an extremely significant development. It would mean that there's a deeper level to its psyche than just the knowledge that it's acquired since coming to this world. If I can use this discovery to trace its roots, I might be able to learn what it truly is. Flesh monster. Oh, I should have taught Saya about fascism. Real. Note, candidates for the plane and world of the organism's origin are discussed in my writings on the Silver Key filed separately. I spent the whole day carrying books into its room. Apparently the organism is no longer satisfied by the knowledge I am able to impart. It should come as no surprise considering its linguistic prowess, but the speed at which it consumes texts is astounding. She would be Team Mussolini. I believe in her. The diary continues for some time, chronicling the intimate relationship between Ogai and the organism. By the way, I can read at speeds up to 2,500 words per minute. The diary continues for some time, chronicling the intimate relationship between Ogai and the quote-unquote organism. In the back of her mind, Ryoko imagines the old doctor climbing down the well in the middle of the night to hold congress with some inhuman creature in that bizarre laboratory. And the image is disturbingly similar to the nightmares that have shattered the silence of many nights with their screams. What follows, however, makes even her worst nightmares pale in comparison. The organism has made a very strange request. This is the first time it's asked for anything other than food and reading materials. I don't want to say this. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. This is the first time it's asked for anything other than food and reading materials. I can hardly believe it, but it but it wants to consume the sperm of living creatures. This is separate from its desire for food. And once again, it's describing this impulse as instinctive. No. Now that it's declared itself a life form that requires the seed of males. It's begun to identify itself as quote-unquote female. After today, I suppose I shall start calling the organism a quote-unquote she. Is the personality that she's begun to exhibit really just an imitation created for amusement? Ever since she started to immerse herself in her literature, she's been acting astonishingly human. She identifies herself as female and already possesses an enormous amount of cultural knowledge. Is she trying to create a human identity for herself based on these? I've seen her laugh, grow angry, and today, she cried. Is she copying her emotional displays? If not, then she is already. I mean, if Saya is like developing these emotions, then she likes Fuminori because he's the only one that doesn't think that she's a horrifying monster and sees her as human. And she wants to be seen as human, which makes sense because she's like mimicking humans, so she'd want to be seen as human. And since Fuminori is the only one that can do that, you know, it makes sense that she'd fall in love with him. I don't think she's really in love with him in the way that we would know that, but Saya belongs to the streets. Is the soul something that any intelligent life form can acquire? I feel like I'm witnessing something more mysterious than the genesis of life itself. Did she kill old guy? Today's her birthday. Although it's a year late, I want to give her a special gift. A terrible day to have sight and hearing. Saya was the name of my mother's cat. In childhood, she was my soul friend and my beloved. I decided long ago that if I were ever blessed with children, I would give this name to my daughter. If I ever have a kid, should I name it Saya, chat? Happy birthday, Saya! Let this be the name of your soul. You have earned it. The ability that Saya has discovered in herself is showing more extraordinary results each day. Yeah! Yeah, minute by minute, it gets more horrifying and more smutty. It's still probably better than anything you'd find at a modern bookstore. I have no doubt that she is a kind of artist. What exactly is it that she... I have no doubt that she is a kind of artist. What is it that she... What exactly is it? What exactly is it that she created in her body from the rat suit? At this point, I can only surmise that it's a type of retrovirus, a reverse transcriptase enzyme that creates exactly what she desires. The rats that have been transformed by her art are so very beautiful now. The many enzymes secreted by her body and the various appendages she uses are discussed in detail in my biological observations filed separately. Here, I will say this. Oh yeah, I want those Sayafamos. I did order them. They're cute. I still want them. Saya's cute. Saya's a good girl. She doesn't know what she's doing. I've gained so much confidence in my theory that her body is designed specifically to manipulate the biology of other organisms. The rat in Jordan Peterson's nightmare. Chinese milking factory. Ryoko looks grimly at the still unsorted mountain of research notes. Though the other thing is, like, if you buy Saya merch, I have a feeling that it'll appreciate in value very well. When she finally manages to separate those papers, she will probably find the files, many other files mentioned in the diary. Ogai's biological observations, at the very least. She wants to look through these before facing the thing called Saya. Under no circumstances does she want to go into battle unprepared. Assuming Tono Koji made no steps, you should be arriving in Tokyo about now. Now that it's too late, she wishes she'd stopped that stubborn fool from leaving, even if she had to shoot him in the leg to do it. You don't think you can look at Saya with the same eyes again? Oh. Koji pulls up 2 blocks away from the Sakizaka house and stares at the silent building. We're slowly seeing the cuteness and cunning being removed. All that remains is funny, and I'm not sure it'll last long. Rat milk trying to feed Saya Griper. In the bright light of morning, the house seems shrouded in a dark miasma, like a black hole torn out of the landscape. Is it just a figment of Koji's imagination? Every window is closed, offering no glimpse of the inside. Koji has no way of knowing whether Fuminori is home. A pedestrian walks his dog down the street, glancing back at Koji through the windshield after he passes by. Koji isn't surprised by the attention. He hasn't bathed or changed clothes since spending the night buried in mud, so he must look like a vagrant even inside his car. When he looks into the rearview mirror, he sees the haggard visage of a man with one foot in the grave staring back at him. It's hard to believe that the tired, unshaven face is really his. If he stays here for too long, someone might report him to the police. He'd better pull himself together and get moving. He drives slowly up to the front of Fuminori's house, quickly checks to make sure that no one's around, and gets out of the car. Anyone who might be in the house probably heard the sound of the engine, but there's no point in worrying about that now. Koji walks swiftly through the gate and yard to the front door. He puts his hand on the doorknob, foregoing the bell. The time for such pleasantries has passed. The door is unlocked and the knob turns easily in his hand. He puts his ear to the door and listens for any signs of life. He's acting like a thief, he realizes with some shame, but that's the least of his worries now. No sound from within. After checking the street again to make sure that no one's looking, he quickly opens the door and disappears inside. An indescribable stink immediately assaults his nostrils. He's already prepared for anything, however, so rather than discourage him, the stench only sharpens his caution to a razor's edge. I don't think he's prepared for what's coming. I'll need to censor soon. Okay, hang on. The way I'm doing this is probably kind of scuffed. Hi, I'm now big. Very big. Okay. An indescribable stink. Oh, right, I always said that. He's crossed this threshold many times in the past, and his memories of days spent here are still bright. Why do they keep coming in this house, I wonder? So why? Why does he feel the same ominous, blood-chilling aura that permeated Ogai's home and cabin? Again, anger and sorrow siege Koji's heart as though a dear friend's grave has been defiled. Hi, everybody. It's Big Italia. Big cat. Koji doesn't remove his shoes before entering. He knows why he's here, and it's not to be polite. Lions are big cats, so it's only fitting that I would be a big cat. Every storm shutter is closed, filling the house with gloom, and he can see nothing but pitch black darkness through the open doors in the hallway. He should have brought his flashlight from the car, he thinks ruefully, then remembers he dropped the light when Fuminori attacked him. It's still lying in the backyard in the cabin in Tochigi. The house may be empty. Then again, it might not. Every particle of the air seems charged with silent menace. Is his enemy lurking somewhere in the darkness? It's not hard to imagine Fuminori waiting for a chance to take him by surprise and finish what the well failed to. Koji walks down the first floor hallway, then climbs the stairs and checks the second floor too. He moves slowly and carefully, keeping his senses sharp, but feels nothing watching him from the shadow. But what is it? What could be so horrifying that, without being lewd, it's not allowed on YouTube? After completing his rounds safely, he's convinced that the house is empty. He suddenly realizes that his right hand is touching the cold steel of the gun in his pocket. Did he intend to draw the weapon upon encountering Fuminori? Sorry, Chet, the rat gets the Eldritch Horror lolly. Now that Koji thinks about it, his own actions seem mysterious to him. What is he planning to do when he meets Fuminori? Will he lay into him with curses and epithets? Will he force him to turn himself in? Or will he? Koji shakes his head. This isn't the time for such hopeless questions. If he keeps thinking, he'll stop moving. And if he stops moving, fear will paralyze him forever. Imagine being the second choice to rats. His only choice is to keep marching on. He has to close the distance to his prey. In any case, Fuminori isn't home. What form the reunion takes will probably be decided at the moment of their meeting. All Koji has to do is not hesitate when the time comes. Still, why does the whole house smell like stagnant water? It's been 3 months since Fuminori distanced himself from his friends. Just what kind of life has he been leading all this time? Koji enters the living room and feels along the wall for the light switch. The moment he flips it on, the answer to his question is revealed. What? How far has Fuminori gone? Koji realizes that this is the first time he's encountered Fuminori's insanity in visible form. From the dust piled in the corners of the room, it's clear that the paint was not applied recently. How many nights has Fuminori spent surrounded by this maddening array of colors? Why, if such obvious signs were available, why didn't Koji realize that something was wrong before it got this bad? Was he deaf to the dying screams of Fuminori's sanity? Was their friendship really so worthless? As he stands petrified in the unfamiliar living room, Koji directs his anger entirely at himself. If he could, he would like nothing more than to apologize for Fuminori for failing to help him through his suffering. Fuminori has found a new hobby. Koji feels like he might have been able to save his friend. Perhaps he's arrogant to think so, but if so, it's an arrogance born out of kindness. Koji passes through the living room and opens the sliding door that leads to the kitchen. When he enters, he finds the most disturbing of the house's many stenches is strongest here. Blood. The room is redolent with the smell of countless layers of blood grown stale over time. Koji's a saint. He peers into the well-used sink. Around the rim, he sees faint, brownish red blotches that water alone couldn't rinse off. Even more obvious are the stains on the dish rag. Such stains are proof that the rag has been used and reused countless times. But what could it have been used on to make it that sickening burgundy color? Koji stares at the refrigerator next to the counter as though it were a monster waiting to swallow him whole. He stands motionless until he's able to work up the courage simply to touch it. And then he steels himself, grabs the thick handle, and opens the door. None of his friends thought to pay him a visit in these 3 months. Not just the sink. First, he'll check the freezer and then the refrigerator. The freezer's packed with frozen meat of varying shapes and sizes. As each piece is wrapped tightly and frosted over plastic, he can't tell what kind of meat it is. The meat in the refrigerator, however, has already been thawed for consumption. For a while, he can only stare in disbelief at the 5 fingers beckoning to him from the back of the compartment. And they're the long, slender fingers of a woman, their bluish tinge giving them the appearance of waxworks. Koji is unable to remember what Omi's hands looked like, even though he had kissed her fingers countless times. When he finished crying after his conversation with Fuminori, Koji promised himself that he would not cry again, and in fact, he does not. He regrets his decision, however. He indulged himself too early. He should have saved his soothing tears for this moment, but for now, he knows that truly nothing is sacred. At last, his doubts about Fuminori had been utterly obliterated. Alright, then I'll make myself small again, and hope that nothing else comes up to cause us problems. Hi. It's just Bird now. No Italia. Hello. I'm small again. Say hi to small Italia. That drawer is filled with more than blood. Yeah, I mean, I think Fuminori's probably figured it out. It's kind of obvious. I think he could probably assume what happened to her. Koji pulls Ogai's revolver out of his pocket and wraps his hands around its grip like he would a charm. No, just Bird. You have to deal with me. Its definite presence, its promise of merciful annihilation, is the only thing keeping its sanity intact. He will surely use it to kill Sakizaka Fuminori. Not for revenge, not just for justice, but to make this world once more a place governed by reason. For that purpose alone, he must eliminate the anomaly. My friend found the gore drawer. He breathes deep, exhales, and then lifts his hand before his face and stares at his spread fingers. Alright, he's not shaking. He's prepared to face his new objective. I feel like guts are fine on YouTube, though. Are they? I have no idea. I just assume that you should not show porn on YouTube. Koji sticks the revolver back into his pocket and pulls out his phone. Okay. Which option should we do first? Should we do Ryoko or Fuminori first? I'm gonna do Fuminori first. It's time to finish this. Just as he had promised earlier, Koji calls Fuminori again. The call goes through immediately. Fuminori must have been waiting for it. Hey Koji, where are you? What difference does it make? As soon as Koji responds, a shrill ringing fills the house. Startled, Koji spins around and looks into the hallway. A bad ending is Fumi. Meh. Which ending is like the shorter one? I feel like it's easier to do the short one first. The house phone is flashing to signal an incoming call. Best ending last. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the best. I see. I figured you'd be at my house. Koji fell for it. Fuminori is the one calling the house and now knows exactly where Koji is. He must have predicted that this would be Koji's first stop, and that Koji would call him upon finding it empty. So I guess you've already seen everything.
Oh.
Yeah. Koji keeps his voice bold to conceal his horror. When did Fuminori become so cunning? It looks like you've become quite the meat-eater since we last met. Just how many people have you killed? Actually, I've only killed one so far. Fuminori replies unapologetically, his tone upbeat. I've taken apart 3 or 4 though. I'm getting pretty good at removing the tendons and draining the blood and such. Koji dies stepping on a 90 ending. Koji no longer feels sadness or horror when faced with Fuminori's inhumanity. There's only the cold desire to kill the creature speaking such revolting words with his friend's voice. He didn't kill Omi. You can't blame him for what happened to Omi. That was Saya. That's on Saya. And also, you can't really blame Saya either. She only killed Omi because Omi was intruding on her household. Really just a communication error. You killed Omi, didn't you? You bastard! You were lying when you said you hadn't seen her. I wonder, Fuminori mutters, seeming somehow embarrassed. There's no way he didn't notice until now. He figured it out. He must have figured it out. I guess the first one I ate might have been Omi. It was the first day she disappeared, come to think of it. The body wasn't in any shape that I could identify. Koji had already abandoned hope, but it's still a shock to hear of his lover's brutal end. Exactly. Saya's a good girl. Saya didn't do anything wrong. It's all Fuminori. Squatu. No, Fuminori says with an exasperated chuckle. She's here, like I promised. I'm no fool. I need her to trade with you, right? I won't waste her. Let me hear her voice. I don't think that's possible. She's in no shape to talk. Eating of Omi. Oh. Fuminori's dismissive words further sharpen Koji's bloodlust. You forget what I said if you don't let her go unharmed. Come on, be happy that she's still alive. Or would you rather have Yo as a corpse? Let's get this straight, Koji. You bring your evidence along with all the files you've gathered. When I'm satisfied that they're the real thing, I'll hand you all over. Fine. It's obvious that the deal is a sham. In all likelihood, Fuminori is planning to kill him and bury his secrets forever. Moreover, Koji doubts that Yo is even still alive, when he could very well be somewhere in the refrigerator, right in front of her. Exactly, it was just self-defense. Saya's just a little silly. However, Koji isn't particularly interested in Fuminori's true intentions. After all, he has no intention of making a trade either. His only goal is to get close enough to destroy Fuminori and whatever is pulling his strings. I mean, it's alive. Where? They're going back to Ogai's house? How roundabout? Oh, no, the other one. You remember Dr. Ogai's house? The one you followed me to? Let's meet there tonight at 7. Come alone.
What?
Hey! Fuminori hangs up without waiting for Koji's response. Perhaps Fuminori too has sensed his opponent's intent. If so, then he has realized that Koji is not just the hunted, but the hunter as well. So we're like duelists maneuvering for an advantage. Koji smiles grimly as he pockets his phone. It's astounding how much their relationship has changed. The question of whether or not to comply with the 7 o'clock rendezvous agreement. If this were a serious negotiation, then it would be wise to avoid preempting Fuminori in a way that could provoke his anger. What Koji and Fuminori are really doing, however, is trying to lure each other into a deadly trap. And Koji doesn't know what Fuminori plans to do between now and then, but he's not allowed to let his enemy keep the initiative. The fierce bloodlust that's taken root in his heart is more than enough to energize his exhausted body. Koji leaves the death-filled house, his stride more determined than before. Oh, wow, Fleshland. We haven't seen Fleshland in a while. Today was the first time I've driven since my accident last summer. The proposition was always too dangerous to consider given my inability to recognize roads and cars. Things have changed, however, in the 3 months I've had to adapt to my condition. I know what cars and pedestrians look like now, and even though I can't exactly see colors, I've learned to decipher lights and turn signals. Still can't read street signs, of course. Nevertheless, I managed to make it safely to our destination with Saya and Yo in the backseat. It was Saya who came up with the idea for a new hideout, an abandoned building she'd discovered while living with Dr. Ogai. In these hilly, suburban residential areas, it's not hard to find thick patches of undeveloped forest just off the beaten path. Saya's old playground is located in one such secluded area, unaffected by the flow of everyday life. It used to be a privately operated sanatorium hidden among the silent trees. After its owners went bankrupt, it remained unsold and was eventually forgotten. Yeah, it sucks that the messages aren't being sent. After I left Saya and Yo at the hideout, I returned to town to make some preparations. Now I'm finally back at our new refuge. You're picturing him driving in his car with two flesh abominations sitting in the back with their seatbelts. I liked this ruin from the moment I found it. Mountains of construction materials and garbage litter the front yard, forming a serviceable barricade. This place looks even less likely to receive unwanted attention than our house. Since my brain sees humans as revolting monsters, places they've been tend to stink or seem covered in filthy slime. Ruins like these, long empty of life, are the places I find most restful.
Tadaima.
I'm back. I call out to let them know I'm not a stranger. Then I go down to the basement to where they're hiding. She's so cute! Saya! Saya! Welcome back! Were you okay with the car?
もう全然問題ない。
Ah,
一方
Saya,
通行
so
の標識
cute!
もどういうのか分かったし、スピードさえ出さなければどこを走っても大丈夫だよ。で、そっちは
It's no problem at all. I figured out how to tell which roads are one way. As long as I keep my speed down, there's nothing to worry about. So how are things here? Papa, are we there yet?
調べたけど、やっぱりあれからずっと人が来た様子はないみたい。ここは安全だよ。
I took a look around. As I thought, there's no sign that anyone's been here since I found this place. It's safe.
そうか。ならいいんだ
I
けど。
definitely should not be allowed to voice act. That would be so bad. I see. Let's hope it stays that way. I'm a little worried that this abandoned building could become a hideout for biker gangs or homeless people.
多分表に
And he's not one of them?
ゴミのせい。
It's
あれ
probably be
普通の人間にはちょっと耐えられないんじゃないかな。
it's probably because of all the trash piled out front. Most people won't get anywhere near that, don't you think?
うーん。
It doesn't bother me at all. I rather like it, in fact. But of course, normal people would feel rather differently.
で、海のりの買い物はいいの見つかった？
So, how was your shopping? Did you find anything good?
あ、もちろん。
I sure did. I don't even have a proper microphone. I'm still using a headset. I proudly unwrapped the weapon I just bought from a camping goods store. A 1 meter long wood axe was the biggest and sturdiest I could find. Oh, I just need to do some mommy voice. That's super monotone. Hang on.
刃渡り15センチ以上のナイフは銃刀法違反だなんて張り紙
I
してある
like
の
how
に
this was placed right
その
next
隣
to
で
a
こんな
sign
もの売
saying
って
that
るんだよ。
long knives are
お笑いだ
illegal.
よね。
It seems like you should do way more damage with one of these. That's my best choice. That's my best attempt, but I don't think I could be an English VA. I might be bad enough, but I'm not haggy enough yet. Even if I'm 100 years old, maybe when I'm 1,000, I'll be haggy enough to be an EMVA. I grip the axe with both hands, testing its dependable weight, then swing it like a baseball bat. The deadly steel blade sweeps through the air right where a person's neck would be. What would a witch voice be like? The crack 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 cackling type thing. Oh, dude, I just say ada ada. Ayo, who's sprawled out on the floor, flinches at the sound and curls herself into a ball.
切れ味とかどう？用で試してみたら？
How sharp is it? Wanna test it on you? That's awful, Saya! How could you kill Yo after going that
それ
far?
はちょっと
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea. I definitely wasn't expecting Saya to suggest anything so brutal.
心配いらないよ。今のような体だったら刃物とかの傷は割と
The writer's thinly veiled fetish. Wanted to be the new Pikachu, yay. Pika Pika? Pikachu! I can't. A Pika Pika. Meow. Meow. You don't need to worry. Her new body can heal pretty easily from cuts and such.
いやそれにしたって痛いだろ
But I'm sure it'll hurt.
そっか。そうだね。
Sokka. Yeah, I guess you're right. It must have slipped her mind completely. The way she smiles at the oblivious Yo as to hide her embarrassment and says,
でもさ、痛くされた時のようの声って、それはそれで可愛いよね。
"Oh, she's so cute." Don't say that ever again. No, don't say that. Don't say that. But her screams are pretty adorable, don't you think?
いややっぱり人間に斧で切りかかるってのは気が引けるよ
Well, I just wouldn't feel right using an axe on a human.
そうなの？じゃあ、コウジさんは？
So nano? Then what about Koji?
そりゃだって
That's easy. It should be obvious, but I guess that Saya still doesn't understand.
やつは僕には人間に見えないから切ろうが潰そうが
He sees the monsters as human, but not the humans. I don't see him as human. I'll have no trouble cutting him to pieces.
そんなに違うんだ。
Hmm? That really makes a difference?
そうさ人間には良心があるんだよね
Saya's so cute. Yeah, humans have a conscience, you see?
どんなに憎い人間だろうと人を殺すと思うとブレーキがかか
No
る
matter how much you hate someone, you can't help but think twice about killing them. And that's how I'll win. Hank friends, you have to go elsewhere.
本当に？
Oh, so cute. Saya seems awfully subdued. I guess she's concerned about what'll happen when I have it out with
体
Koji.
格じゃあいつが上だし
Oh, look at the Saya's small sad face. She's worried. Ah, so cute. He's bigger and stronger, so I might not have much of a chance up against him in a straight-up fight.
でも僕にとっての化け物退治があいつにとっては人殺しなんだ
Hank
こいつは
Lolly.
大きいよあいつはきっと最後の瞬間で隙を見せる
But what's just slaying a monster to me is murder to him. This is big. He'll definitely hesitate when it counts.
なんだか不安なんだよね。そういう心理戦っていうのは
So
確実じゃないっていうか。
I'm a little worried, Saya says softly, staring at the floor with unusual gravity. You can never be sure how someone will react. It's dangerous to rely on that. Hagtards keep walking. This is a cute and funny neighborhood. And she raises her head and looks straight at me.
ねえ、やっぱり私が買った方が良くない？
Don't you think it'd be better if I hunt him? I appreciate Saya's consideration. Even though it could be interpreted as a lack of faith in me, she's still putting my safety above hers. Nevertheless, I can't accept her heartfelt suggestion.
サヤの腕力だとさヨウみたいな女の子なら楽にねじ伏せ
He's
られる
underestimating Saya so hard.
男を相手には厳しいと思うんだ
Saya's not a cute little girl, she's a huge tentacle monster. With your strength, you might be able to overpower a girl like Yo, but I think it'd be hard for you to take down a guy. The bitter memory of Saya's... Oh, actually, I forgot about that. The bitter memory of Saya's grape is still fresh in my mind. Saya falls silent for a moment, seeming to understand what I'm thinking, but then comes right back to stubbornly press her case.
でもね、あのおじさんも最初の不意打ちはうまくいったの。
My first attack went fine
作
though.
用を見たら力が抜けて動けなくなっちゃうんだよ。
Most humans go limp as soon as they see me.
病院だってそうだった。平気で話しかけてきたのって文則だけだよ。
It was the same in the hospital. You were the only one that could talk to me. I think Saya just got lonely.
それも一理あるかもな。
I guess you have a point. Shag! I can't imagine it personally, but I suppose it's possible that Saya's appearance is shocking enough to make someone lose their nerve. Suzumi was able to gain an advantage because he had the same condition as me, which let him see Saya as a cute girl. Fear doesn't necessarily make people weaker, however. Depending on the situation, it can even send someone into a berserk rage and make them harder to put down. In other words, such a tactic would be the same sort of gamble that Saya's worried about.
じゃあさ、さや、こういうのはどうだろうか。
Alright, Saya, how about this? When I tell Saya the new plan that just popped into my head, her gloomy frown turns into a bright smile.
それめや。文則って頭いい。
Yeah, take care. That's perfect! You're so smart, Fuminari!
何もそこまで。
Oh, stop. It's not exactly a great plan, but I guess the fact that it lessens the risk to me is enough to excite her. She's so easy to please, but that's part of what makes her so cute.
で、いつ頃来るの？浩二さん。
So, when's Koji coming?
今朝あれから電話があってさ。とりあえず関係ない場所に誘い出してある。少しじらしてやろうと思ってね。
I got a call from him this morning. For now, I've sent him on a wild goose chase. I'm thinking I should shake him up a little. Need a cute side to praise me. Same.
やっぱり暗くなってからがいいよね。
It'd be best to take care of him after it's dark, don't you think?
ああ。頃合いを見計らって、ここに誘い出して仕留めよう。
Yeah, when the time is right,
気づかれない
I'll lure him here and finish him. We won't have to worry about witnesses here. Oh, this is brutal. You guys are brutal.
ここだと
Brutal,
離れちゃうね。
I mean, listen to that cute voice. We're finally going to get more human meat. Too bad it's just going to rot without a refrigerator.
他の動物を誘う餌にできないか。野良猫とかカラスをおびき寄せ。
Don't eat me, please. Don't eat me. Don't eat me. Don't eat me. Enough about the rat. Don't eat me. Why don't we use it to trap other animals? It could be bait for stray cats or crows. Don't eat us. Don't eat us.
そ
Don't
れ
eat us.
危ないよ。万が一取り逃した時、よそに持っていかれて他人に見つかったら大騒ぎになるよ。
That's too dangerous. If an animal gets away with the meat, someone might find it and wonder where it came from.
そっか。それもそうだ。
Good point. Humans are extremely dangerous, and their filthy, stinking bodies make me sick just by being nearby. Ironically, however, nothing tastes better than their meat. I truly regret having to abandon our well-stocked fridge.
まあ、この辺だと森にもいろいろと住んでるから、そんなに食事には困らないんじゃないかな。
Well, the forest around here is full of animals. I don't think we'll have any trouble finding food.
3人分だよ。大丈夫かい？
We have 3 mouths to feed. Are you sure?
任せて。これでもさや、狩りは得意なんだから。頑張っていっぱい捕まえてくるよ。
Enough about the rat, gents. Can't an eldritch horror lolly have a past? Leave it to me. I might not look it, but I'm a pretty good hunter. I'll be sure to keep us well fed.
そうか。じゃあ、今日からはさやが一家の大黒柱だな。
Okay, looks like you're going to be the breadwinner of this family. This is so liberal. Saya giggles happily at my praise. I find these childish qualities of hers adorable.
今度はどのぐらいのんびりできるかな。
I wonder how long we'll be able to relax this time. Because of the casual way she says it, I almost miss the emptiness to which her question leads.
どのぐらいかな。
Yeah. Saya's right. This won't last forever. No matter how safe this hideout may seem, we will have to abandon it eventually. The slightest mistake could put our life together in jeopardy, just like when I failed to silence Koji. Guys, my girlfriend has a body count in the hundreds, but they're all rats! Saya's getting needle-rared and has to be the breadwinner. What cockery. Some dumb kids might decide that this old ruin is a good place to test their courage, or this land might be targeted for new development. In order to be together with Saya, I have chosen to live apart from society. We will never find lasting peace in this world teeming with humans, not unless we somehow escape from it.
長い旅だと思えばいいさ。
You kids are lucky your first was a rodent. Back in my days, my VN lollies had a pass with horses and pigs. Think of it like going on a journey, just the two of us. I pull Saya into my arms and fold my hands around her slender shoulders and then whisper.
どうせ人生なんて旅みたいなものなんだ。永遠に変わらない場所なんてない。
Life is like a journey anyways. Nothing stays the same
時
forever.
の流れを見送るか、自分自身が流れていくか。
The only difference is whether
So
time passes you by or sweeps you up in its flow.
そうだよね。
そうだよね。そうだよね。Saya smiles softly, perhaps in resignation, perhaps in sadness. Either way, there's peace and contentment in her expression. Saya's the horror version of the daycare ditto.
それでも一人ぼっちじゃないし、だからさやは寂しくなんかないよ。みのりもそうだよね。
But we'll be together, so I'm not lonely. You're not lonely either, are you?
ああ、
No. No, Saya, you're all we need. I have no regrets. As long as I can hold Saya in my arms, I will gladly pay any price.
それにね、
And besides, she adds brightly, trying to cheer me up.
いつかは私たちが人目を忍んで暮らさなくてもよくなる日がきっと来るよ。
I don't like the implications of that.
約束してあげるから。
One day, we won't have to hide anymore. I can promise you that. It sounds like a fairy tale, but for some reason, she seems absolutely certain.
それは明日かもしれないし、ずっと先のことかもしれない。
That day might be tomorrow, or it might be far off in the future.
いつ印が来るのか私にもわからないの。
It's my first
初
time,
めてのことだか
so
ら
even I don't know when the sign will come.
ほんのちょっぴり怖いんだけどね。
Oh, she's so cute! I'm a little scared. I have no idea what Saya's prophetic words mean, but if this isn't the first time she's said or done something mysterious. This isn't the first time she's dead. She's performed any number of miracles already.
僕らにも希望があるのかい。
So there's hope for us too. She says with a cheerful nod.
きっとそれがさやが文則に送ってあげられる最後のプレゼント。さやの最初で最後の務め。
It will be my last present to you, Fuminori. My first and final duty. The real treasure was the rats we found along the way. No. Koji has nothing to do but wait. He has spent almost half a day in the dark, empty study, breathing stale air choked with mold as he strains his ears for the slightest hint of movement below. Few people could endure such a vigil, but Koji has accomplished it without complaint. If anything, the suffering is welcome, for it keeps his nerves honed to a razor's edge. Without a doubt, his single-minded focus is the only thing allowing him to push the limits of his stamina. Koji understands this and embraces the pain. Saya in an interview, a movie, Ratatouille, a Pokemon, Rattata, a book, Stuart Little, a scientific experiment, Universe 25, a game, Plague Tale, a computer, please, the mouse, no, Saya is a good girl. Oh, I can't. My Lolly would never. His closest friend has shattered his world like glass, and now Koji only feels hate towards the madness that's replaced it, and towards himself for allowing it to happen. Self-loathing is a more reliable source of willpower than any face. I'm out of breath. The rat joke's not gonna end. No, what happens in the lab stays in the lab. Than any faith or resolve, no matter how noble. When he arrived in the Ogai house, Koji snuck inside carefully, hoping to perhaps take his enemy by surprise. It was only after he got inside that he realized the house was still abandoned. Even so, Koji was sure that Fuminori would arrive earlier than promised in order to set up an ambush. However, the light streaming through the windows turned red and then faded to darkness with no sign of anyone coming. Koji's patience had grown weaker and weaker by the moment, and now the appointed time has arrived. Just as Koji's frustration is about to peak, his phone begins to vibrate and flash. It's from Fuminori. He's calling rather than show himself. Rage threatens to overwhelm him for an instant, but Koji manages to keep his voice calm as he answers.
どういうつもりだ、Fuminori?
What's going on here, Fuminori?
いやね、まさか待ち伏せなんていう無駄なことをして神経すり減らしてないか。お前のことが心配になってさ。
Well, I was worried that you might be wasting energy on something silly, like planning an ambush, Fuminori says, chuckling scornfully.
遅くなったが、そろそろ本当の待ち合わせ場所を教えておかなくちゃと思ってさ。間に合ったかい?
It's kind of late, but I guess I should tell you the real meeting place before you lose your mind. Did I make it in time?
ふざけた真似を。
Son of a bitch.
まあ怒るなよ。
Come on,
当然の
don't
よ
get mad. I'm just being careful, right? Fuminori laughs with unrestrained malevolence as though to emphasize that he's seen through Koji's
お前
plans.
が大貝教授の家まで来てるんなら、そこからほんの少し先、歩いて行ける距離の場所だよ。僕と陽はそこにいる。
Why doesn't he just use his leverage to get Fuminori to come to Olgai's place? Assuming you're at Dr. Olgai's house, there's a place nearby within walking distance. Yo and I are there.
まずは車に戻ってカーナビを見ろ。ドクロ番長教えてやるから。
I'll give you the address. You should be able to find it on your car's GPS.
今度こそ信用できるっていう保証は
You have proof. This isn't another trick.
疑わしければ来なくていい。尻尾を巻いて逃げるがいいさ。
If you're that paranoid, you don't have to come. Just turn tail and run. Fuminori hangs up immediately after speaking his challenge. Koji leaps out of his chair and kicks it across the room, unable to find any other outlet for his rage. He has no choice but to do what Fuminori says. His stamina is already exhausted. Only his obsession is keeping him going. If he allows himself even a moment's rest, he fears that he'll never again find the strength to face this madness. Saya with cat ears. I don't know how much is left. There's also another ending, so I don't know. Tonight is his only chance to kill Fuminori. Koji knows, of course, that his enemy is planning to ambush him. Fuminori isn't going to fight fair, but then, neither is Koji. With the unsteady stride of a man half asleep, Koji leaves the Olgai house and he heads for his car. Only the base of these foothills has been developed for housing. The address Fuminori gave Koji is outside of that area, in this thick forest that still covers the mountain's face. His car GPS shows a road that leads nowhere, but according to Fuminori, there should be an old, abandoned sanatorium there. It's definitely a place that no one could find, not even by accident. Maybe this last stop really will be the next. I messed that up, didn't I? Koji drives up the steep incline, soon leaving the residential neighborhood behind. Even though the hands of progress are right at its doorstep, the undeveloped forest is darker than it's expected. Honestly, I'm making way fewer mistakes than I'd expect to make. I'd expect myself to stumble over my words constantly. This looks like a great place to live in secret, or to kill someone and hide the body. Places like this, lost and forgotten, aren't only found in the deep jungles and hidden valleys. Holes in the world are everywhere, even in the midst of civilization. A broken down gatepost suddenly appears in Koji's headlights like a ghost rising from the darkness. It looks like this is the final stop. He rolls up to the gate and turns off the engine, giving himself to the silence of the forest. His phone starts ringing almost immediately. He doesn't need to check who it's
着
from.
いたぞ。
I'm here.
あ、聞こえてた。
Yeah, I heard you. And welcome to my new home. Fuminori is nearby, close enough to hear the sound of the engine. A shiver of excitement shoots up Koji's spine.
中に入ってこいよ。ようも待ってる。
No sleepy, don't sleeping. Come inside, he yells waiting. Fuminori hangs up without another word. After grabbing his new flashlight from the glove compartment and checking that the revolver is still in his pocket, Koji opens the door and gets out of his car. You're not allowed to sleep. Mountains of trash litter the front yard, forming a serviceable barricade. Koji sees everything from small refrigerators and mopeds to huge chunks of concrete and plaster that must have been abandoned by construction workers. The fact that they could get away with leaving all this stuff behind just shows how remote this place is. The moon is brighter than usual, allowing Koji to walk through the front yard without tripping on debris. Staying alert, he heads for the building beyond the mountains of trash. Something must be buried underneath the piles of garbage because the whole yard is filled with the sharp stink of chemicals. Even the homeless probably wouldn't come to this place. If you need to get out of the wind and rain, there are plenty of shelters more suitable. How many times now has he stood like this, alone in some ominously silent place far removed from his everyday life? Are you safe to eat? Sneaking into deathly, quiet houses to find traces of unimaginable happenings has become as normal as going to class. The houses that he explored before were like freshly shed cicada shells, empty and dilapidated, but with traces of life they once had sheltered. This place, however, is different. A perfect ruin, its walls and pillars rising from the dark forest like an army of ghosts, with no sign at all of the people that once lived and worked here. The structure resembles a skeleton more than a shell. Time and the elements have stripped it of its former shape, and now there is only death. Koji has gone as far as he can. This must be the final stop. What will Fuminori's next move be? He must be planning to kill Koji. But how? Just as he's about to turn on his flashlight, Koji reconsiders. If he wanders around with the light on, he'll be broadcasting his exact location. That will give the advantage to Fuminori, who's probably lying in wait for him now. Jeez. He holds the light before him in his left hand with his finger poised on the switch. In his right hand, he raises the revolver, keeping it pointed in the same direction. Now ready to fire when he turns on the light, Koji steps quietly into the dark ruin. It takes a while for his eyes to adjust, but even when they do, he has only moonlight streaming through the empty windows to guide him. Everything appears gray and indistinct. However, Fuminori has to deal with the same conditions if he's hiding here. This is a battle of nerves, exhausting and deadly, where the first to make a sound and give away his position will lose. The rooms on both sides of the hallway are all open, some even missing their doors. Koji creeps up to each entrance, checks to make sure that no one is inside, and then carefully proceeds on. The stink that he has noticed in the garden has changed. Now it smells more organic, like rotting meat. It's the exact same house. Same smell that filled Fuminori's house. Squish. Koji freezes and stares down the hall. is a wet sound that he heard just now. Like someone dragging their feet through a swamp. And it came from the room at the end of the hall. Something is there. Something alive. Koji creeps towards the sound, his light and gun at the ready. No, no rat STD, no! Squish. Squish. Now it sounds like someone squeezing mud through their fingers, and as he gets closer, Koji begins to hear breathing. Could it be Fuminori? No, that's impossible. He should be waiting for a chance to ambush Koji, not making careless noise. As he proceeds, the strange sound coming through the cracks in the concrete walls grows clearer. Before he knows it, he's standing on the threshold. The room is filled with a thick, viscous darkness, just like every other room he's passed. There's more than just darkness, however, something is there. Yo. He can hear pained breathing like that of a wounded animal and what sounds like sobbing. Sobbing?
誰だ?
Who's there? Koji whispers into the darkness. Now that he's given away his position, he might as well turn on his light. For some reason, however, Koji feels that to do so would have disastrous consequences. The last time I heard her voice on the phone, she was sobbing. No, I would never randomly... I mean, I could start snorting, but no, that would be weird. The wheezing suddenly stops. I actually have a really bad habit of snorting while I'm laughing. I'm surprised it hasn't really happened on stream yet. And then... Koji-kun. A whisper comes out of the darkness, though not a human voice, not by any measure. It speaks some blasphemous semblance of human words. A nightmarish flash of insight connects the dots in Koji's mind. Scuba. Yo. It's Yo. It can't be. Yo, it doesn't sound like this. She doesn't smell like this. No. Snorting is not cute. I'm not snorting for you guys. Please, Koji, kill me. But if it's not Yo, then how does it know his name? Why is it begging him for help? No, it can't be Yo. She's human, not some creature that slithers and hides in the shadows. It hurts. It hurts. This body always hurts. Save me, Koji! The thing wriggles closer. His reason cries out, imploring him to switch the light on before it's too late, or to turn and run if he cannot. But Koji's unable to make either choice. He can only call out in vain to the amorphous shape in the darkness.
Tsukuba nanoka?
Is it you, Tsukuba? Is it really you?
Tsukuba nanoka?
Yeah, poor you. Let me die. No more. Please, kill me. And something soft and slimy slides over Koji's toes. Instinct overrides his will, forcing him to turn on the light and shine it at his feet. The white beam reveals everything. The merciless truth that finally shatters Koji's sanity. No, I don't want to snort. Terror wipes his mind of all but 2 words, gun and trigger. His finger responds with instant obedience. There's an explosion of light and sound, both more intense than anticipated, and then the destructive forces are swallowed up by darkness. I don't know, is anything bad gonna happen? His ears are still ringing from the bang, but he hears a weak voice coming from the shadows. It hurts! But he screams and pulls the trigger again and again, certain that salvation can only come from the barrel of his gun, and thus kills himself by wasting all 4 bullets. Light and darkness, explosion and silence, they dance before him 3 more times. Koji doesn't even need to aim. The horrible creature is right at his feet, far too close to miss. Hiroka warned him how many bullets were left in the gun, but that information has already been driven from his mind. Even after the old heavy boom wraps himself around him once more, Koji keeps pulling the trigger like a man possessed, paying no heed to the clicking of the empty weapon. His panic-stricken legs suddenly give out, sending him down hard on his backside. Even then, he keeps firing the empty gun. He knows no other way to erase the memory of the thing he glimpsed in the gleam of his flashlight. The light which fell from his hand during the attack is now pointing in a different direction, and as though all 4 bullets must have hit their target, they were Koji's last card to play, which leaves him alone in the darkness with no way to defend himself. And just as he realizes this, a mass of rotting flesh rolls over him like a tidal wave. He can no longer even scream as the thing pushes him onto his back. With fear seizing his throat and an iron grip, Koji struggles desperately against the monster as it crawls up his body towards his face. Covering his face with his left hand, he scrabbles wildly along the floor with his right, searching for a way out that doesn't really exist. I look like this is insane. His mind is that of a feral animal, empty of everything but primal terror. And that is why, when his right hand closes around something hard at the last moment, he recognizes it instinctively as a weapon. Yeah, Koji shouldn't have even been there. Putting every ounce of strength into his arm, Koji swings the heavy object at the creature on top of him. He hears the thud of a blunt object striking something soft and wet, and then Koji's attack rolls off him. As soon as he's able to move again, Koji leaps to his feet and grabs his new weapon with both hands, brandishing it as like a charm to ward off evil. Only now does he realize he's holding a rusty steel pipe. The monster is still sobbing. With a cry that's part scream, part roar. I can't do a roar, but that's my best try. Koji raises the steel pipe and brings it down, crashing down on the cowering creature. He hears a wet sound and feels the blood-chilling sensation of its thick, soft flesh absorbing the blow. These combine to evoke an instinctive loathing that wipes his mind of all but the urge to destroy. Die! Die! Oh wait, should I say that on YouTube? Consumed by the same despot. I just realized we're like playing this horrifying horror game where people are like killing each other on YouTube. Consumed by the same desperation with which he kept firing the empty gun, Koji rings blow after blow down on his enemy. The same YouTube in which people say unalived to prevent problems. After the 10th blow, it stops sobbing. After the 20th blow, it stops moving. And after the 30th blow, it begins to feel and sound more like he's beating a puddle of viscous liquid. Koji doesn't stop thrashing the creature until he recovers enough of his senses to realize that whatever it might have been before, it's now nothing but a corpse. The pipe in his hand, covered with unidentifiable fluids and filth, suddenly feels unbearably heavy. 20 years of memories in the light of the sun, if they were indeed precious to him, then he never should have come to this place. Precisely. That's what I've been saying this whole novel. Oh, really? I don't know. The black flames of despair rise within him, consuming fear and revulsion and pity. Only rage and hate remain. Every cell in his body cries out for vengeance, for the blood of the man who poisoned him with truth and tore him from his womb of innocence. And then Koji, slave to hate, hears the sound of someone sneaking up behind him. Koji whirls, swinging his pipe with all the force he can muster. His enemy hastily leaps back to avoid the strike, surprised by his failure to catch Koji off guard. Twisted shadows dance in the beam of light on the floor. Readying his pipe for the next blow, Koji faces off against the second attacker. And before this moment, Koji could have never imagined that he would speak his friend's name with such hatred. Hey, that was a pretty heavy swing just now. You trying to kill me or something? No kidding. Even now, Fuminori is smiling as though the huge axe in his hands is just a sick joke. Dang, Koji, I thought you would hesitate. You thought I'd hesitate against you? Koji sneers too, unable to contain his contempt for the notion.
近江をどうした？筑波に一体何をした？それを考
How
え
did
て
you
もまだ
kill
俺が貴様
Omi,
を
you
殺す
piece
の
of
に
shit?
迷うだ
What
ろ。
did you do to Tsukuba? After all of this, you'd expect me to think twice about killing you?
そいつは言いがかりのつけ方が逆だろうか。
That's my line, Koji Fuminori growls, looking sadly at the pile of dead flesh at Koji's
工
feet.
事の分際で僕の世をひどい目に遭わせやがって。世の10倍は痛めつけてから殺してやる。
How could you do such a horrible thing to Yo? I'll make sure you suffer before I kill you. The blade of Fuminori's axe carves a murderous arc through the darkness, glittering menacingly in the faint light coming from the floor. Koji raises his pipe to block the ferocious swing. The heavy impact numbs his arms, but his large frame takes the blow without giving any ground. Fuminori presses the attack, delivering a second blow and a third. His axe, designed for chopping down trees, is deadlier and more durable than the piece of pipe Koji found discarded on the floor. Each strike Koji sends chunks of rust flying from his makeshift weapon. He can't win as long as he's on the defensive. He needs to create an opportunity to attack. Bastard! Koji blocks a crushing downward swing, then pushes back hard before Fuminori can pull away, throwing him off balance. Yeah. I mean, that's a much worse thing to do to Yo than to kill her, honestly. Fuminori stumbles backwards, then plants his feet to steady himself. Taking advantage of his opponent's temporary immobility, Koji delivers a punishing low kick to Fuminori's outer thigh. Gah. Fuminori grunts and retreats, swinging his axe wildly to prevent Koji from following up with another attack. You dare take my toy from me! You dare! Koji, however, does not press his advantage. He just stands where he is, calmly spearing Fuminori with his stare.
お前喧嘩に慣れてねえな。
You've never been in a fight, have you? Fuminori roars and comes in for another attack, but the damage to his right leg seems to be slowing the swing. Easily blocking the axe with his pipe, Koji waits for Fuminori to exhaust himself. Die! Fuminori delivers blow after heavy blow, howling savagely all the while, but he does not realize, however, that the situation now favors composure. Not force. Hey, Saya gave me that. When Fuminori raises his axe high for yet another attack, Koji sees that his movements have grown dull enough. Seizing the opportunity, Koji charges into Fuminori's rage and grabs the haft of his axe with his left hand. Ugh! No! No saying that! No! As Fuminori recoils in fear, Koji swings his pipe hard at his enemy's unprotected side. He feels the crunch of his ribs breaking. The pain drives Fuminori to his knees. Staring down at Fuminori's defenseless head, Koji, surprised by his own lack of motion, raises his pipe high to deliver the finishing blow, which is when something wraps itself around his left ankle. Saya! What? The instant Koji panics at the unexpected sensation, something soft yet strong winds itself around his right leg and drags him down to the floor before he can resist. He twists his body and tries to swing the pipe at the unseen enemy behind him, but his right hand, too, is seized by the same flexible force. He wasn't able to feel it through his pants, but now his blood turns to ice at the cold, slimy sensation of the thing wrapped around his uncovered wrist. Saya dime. That monster's still alive? That's it. That's it, Saya. Fuminori says encouragingly. Even while kneeling on the floor, his face twisted in pain, he manages a terrible, victorious grin. Saya. This monster is Saya. Koji struggles desperately to free his limbs from the creature's slimy grip. How would I detach a cylinder stuck inside a big pile of flesh? It's imperative that the cylinder nor the flesh are damaged. The cylinder is about 5 inches long, and I don't remember how much it was together. Reddit classic. But more tentacles swarm over his body, stealing his freedom of movement. Ah! The horror has already driven Koji half mad. Just imagining the creature's appearance is enough to send him into a mindless panic. His scream is suddenly cut off as a slimy appendage seizes its throat. This most deadly tentacle isn't just cutting off his windpipe. It's trying to snap his neck and it's getting tighter. My mind hazy from the pain. I watch as Saya feasts upon her slain prey. We've won. It was hard and I wasn't able to do it alone, but together we have defeated our enemy. The price was steep. At least 2 of my ribs are broken, sending a sharp pain shooting through my chest every time I breathe. And then there's Yol. I didn't expect her to fall to Koji so easily. I suppose that, unlike Saya, she might have been unfamiliar with how to use her new body in combat. My injury must have fueled Saya's anger. Her slaughter Koji was merciless and complete. As soon as her prey stopped moving, she sank her teeth into his vital organs and ruthlessly extinguished the last embers of life. For her brutal, grisly actions were unbecoming of her girlish appearance. Saya's face, covered in blood and gore, was that of a victorious queen of beasts, lording over her defeated foe. There was something noble and sacred about her primal ferocity that made me reluctant to disturb her. I've never had a broken rib. I can't comment on that. I don't know how long I've been sitting here watching Saya feast. I nearly fainted from the pain several times. To be honest, I'm not used to violence. And the wounds I suffered in the car accident were worse, of course. These broken ribs are the most severe injury that's ever been deliberately inflicted upon me. You'd think that Saya could show a little more concern for my condition. Koji is already as dead as can be, so there's no reason for her to be so greedy. I suddenly realized that Saya has stopped eating. Now she's lying on her back, rolling from side to side. Has she eaten too much? It's been several days since we had fresh, unfrozen meat, so I understand where her enthusiasm is coming from. But still, I'm wounded here. She could give me a hand. Yeah, Yo is just begging for her death. Because I'm preoccupied with my own selfish wants, I'm slow to realize that something is wrong. Saya isn't resting. She's trembling in agony. Just put some salt on it, Fuminori. My blood goes cold, and the pain from my broken lips is suddenly forgotten.
Saya!
Saya. I jump up, run to her side, and cradle her fallen body in my arms. Her face is pale and drenched in sweat, and her half-closed eyelids and lips are shivering like she has a fever. What's going on? Was she wounded in the fight? Could the meat she just ate have been poisoned somehow? I don't understand. All I know is that something terrible is happening. So cute. I love her. She may be a horrifying flesh monster eating, I'm not even gonna say the other words because I don't know if YouTube wants me, but, man. Saya! 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 The only thing I can do is call her name with all of my strength. Saya slowly opens her eyes and gazes vacantly into my face.
Fuminori, ごめん。
But Saya,
大丈
no.
夫。大丈夫だよ。
No. Sorry, Fuminori. I'm fine. Really.
ただちょっと痛いだけ。
That is the cutest thing ever. Oh, she's so cute.
何なんだどう
It
したんだ
just
サヤ
hurts a
しっ
little.
かりしろ
What's wrong? What is it? Come on, Saya. There's no way she's fine. It's glaringly obvious that her condition is dire. Even so, I'm the only one who's panicking. Saya's expression is serene, as though she understands everything that's happening to her. She even smiles softly up at
び
me.
っくりしちゃった。まさか本当にこんなに早く時が来るなんて。
Or what's happening to Saya? I can't believe it. I never thought it would come so soon. I might lose Saya. The thought is unbearable. Terror and despair are quickly overwhelming me. A feeling of utter helplessness that I cannot resist.
構わないで。これが印。
Don't be afraid. Remember what I said. This is the sign. It should be me hugging Saya, not him. Him who cucked Saya. I should be hugging Saya. I would be nice to Saya.
私の
This
た
is
った一つの希望。
our only hope.
どういうことだよわけわかんないよサヤしっかりしてくれよ
What are you talking about? I don't understand. Stay with me, Saya! Saya answers my tearful entreaty with a smile like that of a mother comforting her child.
さやはね、頑張るって決めたの。
Imagine becoming such a monster for a lonely girlfriend and she dies. Just as you go through the last step of the journey. I did it. I decided to do my best. I love her so much, Rose. After all, you said you loved me.
綺麗だってそう言ってくれたから
You said that I was pretty.
やめようよさや。
Stop it! Stop it, Saya! Whatever is happening, I can't just sit by and watch as Saya has such agony.
おい無茶しないでくれ。何を
Please,
これか知らない。
whatever you're trying to do, I don't want to see you suffer.
ひどいなひどい分かってよ
Don't be like that. Saya chides me. Please understand. In a soft voice, she reveals her secret.
さやと
No. They're going to be born. Her children. For a moment, my mind goes completely blank. What? But when did you?
私もねびっくりねえ海のり
Saya more like Daya. I'm surprised too, Fuminori. Saya's labored breathing speaks to the terrible pain her tiny body is suffering. Even so, she wraps her arms tightly around my neck. Saya's gonna be alone.
空の
Take me outside, to an open place, under the sky. I nod. What else can I do? If I speak, I'm afraid that I'll be unable to hold back my tears. I mustn't cry, not when Saya is facing her torment so bravely. Out of wedlock. She deserves better, so true. It feels like Saya is burning up in my arms, and I feel that the terrible convulsions that shoot through her at intervals will tear her frail body to pieces. Praying for safety, I scoop Saya up and carry her swiftly out of the ruined building. Maybe the cold night air will soothe her fever, but that hope is futile. Curly dashed as her breathing grows shallow and she moans through bluish lips.
そうだ。
Saya, we're outside. In response to my call, she opens her eyes once more. Her gaze is cloudy and unfocused. She can no longer see. Nevertheless, Saya looks at me. I can tell she is imagining my expression where my face should be.
約束したこれが最後のプレゼント
No dying, Saya, no! I'll miss you so much. Just as I promised, this is my final present. I know.
喜んでくれるといいな
I hope you'll like it.
嬉しいよ。
Of course I will. We'll love anything you give us, Saya. Even though your presents seem to be quite bad. Quite bad. Not to human tastes. Not to decent human tastes, at least. It takes every ounce of my willpower, but I manage to make my voice light and cheerful. In Saya's mind's eye, I know that I am smiling. She won't have to see my face streaked with tears.
のり私を愛してくれたあなたに
Fuminori, to you who loves me,
この星をあげます
I give this planet. Saya's whisper is weak and pained, but there's ecstasy in her voice. Ecstasy and joy. Her back suddenly shifts, then bulges outward.
世界はきっと綺麗な場所になるから
This world will be beautiful, she whispers in exultation.
さやと海のりの
Saya deserves better. A world just for us. And then Saya blooms. How else can I describe it? Flower petals long and wide spread from her back like the wings of a newly formed butterfly. Her brilliant glow comes from the countless tiny scales that cover each petal like particles of light.
さよならなのか。
Is this goodbye? I ask her, careful to keep the sorrow out of my voice.
違う。これは始まり。
No, not goodbye. This is the beginning. Saya's being must have already left her, for her expression is infinitely peaceful and content.
私と文則の世界の始まり。
I feel like that line is way more impactful in Japanese, but the beginning of our world. The radiant moths rise on the wind, painting rivers of light in the frozen winter sky. It's beautiful. Overwhelmingly, painfully beautiful. Yeah, exactly. Must it be something extraordinarily mundane, though? Because Fuminori is seeing horrifying things as... Then again, it is beautiful for him and not disgusting and abhorrent. It's interesting. It's beautiful. Overwhelmingly, painfully beautiful. Singing victoriously of their freedom, the shining seeds of life are released into this vast and fertile land. The fleshy spores. That's horrifying, man. Their song heralds the coming of the new world and the destruction of the old. It's a boundless healing. It's an eternal blessing. We shall fill the world with our joy.
ずっと一緒だね。
Now we'll be together forever, won't we? Embracing Saya's pitifully shrunken body, I gaze into the shining sky and let my tears flow freely. Now the earth is giant meat horror ball, yes. Thank you. Thank you for this final gift, Saya. Not the earth, just Japan. She was worried at first how long the preserved foods in the underground storeroom would last her, but now it seems that her fears were unfounded. It's the liquor she should have worried about. By savoring each drop of vodka as though it were her last, she thought that she could make her flask hold out a little longer, but she must have been consuming more each day than she realized. The whole world is now Saya. Who can blame her? There's no way she could have gotten through this without the intoxicating effects of distilled alcohol. After Ryoko chased useless emotions like hope and despair from her mind, she found herself spending the most peaceful days of her life. As resignation set in, even hate and fear left her. Now she only feels awe for what Ogai Masahiko did, and respect for the depth of his intellectual curiosity. After all, neither she nor this world has any reason left to deny his research. Alone in the mountain cabin, Ryoko killed time by bringing order to the documents that Ogai had left behind. She took the scattered and ciphered papers and rewrote them in a more readable fashion, eliminating redundancies and adding indexes and tables of contents. Ryoko did not intend for anyone to read them, of course. She knew full well how meaningless her actions were. With a reason to live gone, however, having something to devote her mind to was at least some relief. And now, as the last congratulatory drops of vodka burn their way down Ryoko's throat, all of Ogai's research lies before her in a single volume. She has finally finished transcribing and annotating the last of his writings. Enjoying the satisfaction of a pointless job well done, she idly pages through the manuscript she just completed. I shall conclude by summarizing my theory as it currently stands. The life form I need Saya did not appear in our universe by chance, nor even as a result of my summoning, but because of the instincts that were programmed directly into her biology. She was created to fulfill the same ultimate purpose that all life shares: reproduction. Saya and her kind procreate by spreading their seeds to other dimensions. What is the probability that they will discover a doorway to another world? Even if they succeed in doing so, the chance of that world being suitable for reproduction must be even more minute. In order to make the most of that scant probability, evolution has granted them a certain advantage, none other than the astonishing ability that I have witnessed in Saya. To wit, they select the most prosperous life form that they encounter, take control of it, and in doing so gain dominance over that planet's biosphere. In other words, they hijack the entire species. They do this by analyzing their target's genome, then overwriting its genetic code to remake it in their own image. Saya's biology is more than capable of inducing such dramatic and widespread mutation. Yeah, maybe. There's a significant probability that the target species will have evolved into intelligent life. This element may be necessary to gaining control to a planet's environment. Therefore, Saya and her sisters also plunder their target's culture and psychology. Her extraordinary learning ability and intellectual curiosity are likely instinctive tools that enable her to inherit the target species' entire wealth of knowledge. In fact, it may be that Saya's kind has always had its sights set on intelligent life. Perhaps they wait patiently for some foolish extra-dimensional species to gain knowledge of other worlds, and, in attempting to satisfy its curiosity, make contact with the outer universe in which they dwell, rather than send Saya and her own kin on their dimensional journeys with only luck and their own strength to depend upon. But not waiting for such contact greatly increased the chance of finding a world worthy of such conquest. And just as I, having acquired the Silver Key, fancied myself an explorer of the unknown, how many intelligent life forms on other worlds have thoughtlessly congratulated themselves for quote-unquote discovering Saya's sisters? Taken by the sudden urge to go outside for a change, Ryoko gathers up the manuscript and heads to her car, which is parked in the front yard. She has completed her self-imposed final duty. There's no longer any reason for her to remain holed up in the mountain cabin. She drives a little further up the mountain to an open place that offers a scenic view of the land below. In the early days of the change, Ryoko often came to the spot to watch helplessly over the mutating city. The one flaw in my theory comes from none other than Saya herself. After using me to learn everything she could about humanity, Saya should finally have been prepared to begin the last stage of her invasion. However, she never carried out her mission. Why? I hypothesized that Saya was an irregular among her kind. It's said that the human race's intelligence has allowed us to conquer our natural instincts. Perhaps in absorbing the human psyche, Saya accidentally inherited the disease that infects our entire species. What is human love, really? What behavior could be more of a hindrance to the efficient propagation of a species? I'm reminded of how, at the end of her studies, Saya consumed vast quantities of romantic literature from all over the world. She tried to understand romance as an integral part of human reproductive process. As a result, she might have unwittingly neutered her own unparalleled reproductive abilities. After all, she had not known love. She had come to this world to rule it in our place, and had studied humanity to fulfill that purpose, but ultimately she could not share love with a human. Without love's blessing, Saya was unable to find the passion to fill this world with her kind. In learning all there was to know about humanity, she herself had become hopelessly human. Weary of loneliness, she despaired of the world. How pure her maiden soul must have been. Yes, Saya is perfect. Saya is so cute. If this hypothesis is correct, then it means I have failed her as a teacher. I cannot help but feel ashamed for having spoiled such an extraordinary organism. Oh no! Saya, next to Ogai Masako, Ryoko now knows more about that entity than anyone else. No. When the young man named Sakisaka Fuminori is added to the running, perhaps she only comes in third. In the end, she never encountered the creature face to face. She would like to have met it once, though. If Olgai's analysis of Saya's psychology is correct, then it must have been Sakisaka who restored her desire to conquer the world. and perhaps as Sakisaga's chief physician, Ryoko played some role in bringing that lonely young man and Saya together. In which case, she should have had the right to attend their wedding to end all weddings. She might have even charged them a matchmaker's fee. I have a dream that one day my daughter will know the blessings of love. I pray that there will come a day when her heart burns with the flames of passion and her world becomes bright and joyous once more. And when that day comes, Saya, your terrible, irresistible purpose will shortly consume us, that your progeny may flourish. The whole world will know your love and be reborn. Ah, what wonders the future holds. I deeply regret that I must end my life before I see that day come, but the footsteps of those who would destroy my dream come closer by the hour. If I seal my lips in death, then their grasping hands will not reach you. Please forgive me, my daughter, for leaving you alone in this barren world. With the knowledge that you now possess, I know that you will find your own path. The radiance of your heart, one soul, shall light the road ahead. Have no fear, have no doubt, march onward until you reach your answer at last. And I, Saya, will dream forever of the world that you will create. Perhaps it's the isolated environment or the mountain air. Maybe she's just more resistant to the change. Whatever the case, Ryoko has not yet become as inhuman as the creatures circling through the city below. She does not know exactly how many people on this planet could still be called human, but she's one of what must be only a handful of survivors who are left to watch over the end of mankind. Of course, it's only a matter of time before she changes too. It's been 3 days since she chopped off her right hand, which had ceased to function as anything resembling a human hand, but the itching that has spread across her entire back is growing more intolerable by the hour. She could look in a mirror to see what she's becoming, but she doubts it would make her happy. Ryoko thinks that maybe it would be best to just go to sleep here, with the world spread out before her. When she awakens, perhaps she will be ready to descend the mountain and join in the city's revelries, or perhaps she won't even need such resolve anymore. Whatever the case, Ryoko thinks dreamily as she licks the very last drop from her flask. Even after I stop being human, I hope I'll still enjoy the taste of booze. I love Ryoko. She's second only to Saya here. Okay. Ooh, staff comment. What is this? Ah! Wrong thing. That did not lead anywhere. That opened the browser. Wait, darn it. No, not again. Not again. No. Not quit game. Not quit game. No, how do I go back and we get the other ending? Now Planet is Saya. I mean, what time is it? It's been nearly 3 hours. How long is the other ending? How long is the other ending? I feel like we should. It might be a while, though. Okay. He calls Ryoko. The ringing of her cell phone interrupts Ryoko's labors. When she sees that the caller is Tono Koji, she unwittingly breathes a sigh of relief. This is Tombo. What is it? I've searched Fuminori's house. Even over the phone, Ryoko can hear the change in Koji's tone. His is the dull, flat voice of someone who has had all of the energy beaten out of him. Like, how long is it, though? How long will this take me? Fuminori has murdered people. He's killed too many people to count, and he's eating them. Its first steps into Ryoko's world had already brought him face to face with something particularly gruesome. In consideration of his probable state of mind, she decides to say nothing. Omi is dead, Koji continues. Tsukuba too, probably. Doctor, I was wrong. We spend 2 hours How long did the other one take us, though? Oh, then we'll stop. Then we'll stop. We'll save the rest for later. And we'll just chat for a bit, I guess, then. I feel like viewership has been low lately. Maybe I'm streaming too much. Maybe YouTube has shadow banned me. I can't tell. Mm. Then again, how long has it been? Hang on. Let me check. I'll search something up. How long is Saya ending Ryoko? That's not as expected. The YouTube search doesn't really reveal much. Thank you guys for watching me so much. I think I'm still getting like more views than like than streamers with like other VTubers with like way more followers. I see people, small VTubers with like anything between, you know, about like anything between, hang on, I'm changing the chat size and I can only process one thought in my mind. Anything between 1,000 and 2,000. Well, I assume Fuminori. Oh, I don't know, to be honest. But yeah, I see these VTubers with only like 1,000 to 2,000 followers, and they have like way more views than, I mean, way fewer views. They get like less than me per stream, which is like crazy. And they also seem to be much better than me, which makes me wonder. Maybe I'm just more appealing as a person, even if I'm not as good at this. Maybe they're just oversaturating the market and don't have anything to distinguish them from every other girl who chats for hours and hours on land to people. But, yeah. I think we're slowly growing in subscriber count. I think it's probably fairly good to have, you know, 10% of your I mean, yeah, about 1-to-1 subscriber to view count on almost all videos when they're streams. I guess, but when I look at them, they seem to be, you know, fairly engaging. If you got less views than me, you'd graduate on the second stream. Man. I think most people would have less views than me for the first few streams, though, because they're just not, they don't have as big of an audience to start with. I mean, most VTubers just, I assume they start out with just a couple of friends. Yeah, there is a bit of a bubble pop at the moment. I'd love to become good enough to join an agency someday. VTuber agencies look so fun, man. But yeah, I guess there is a bit of a pop. Hololive also seems to be like changing direction lately, but I don't hate the direction that it's going in, to be honest. There's like tons of idol stuff and merch, and I don't know, maybe being an idol appeals to me. I'd love to join Hololive, but there's no way that would ever happen. Hololive would never want a fascist VTuber. Oh, why not? Why shouldn't I join an agency? That's selling my soul. Talia X Pippa. I am not deserving of such a thing. The Walmart bunny should not grace me with her presence. To collab with Pippa, you have to shoot up a Walmart first. This is a secret in the industry. I think I'm mentally unwell. FaZe is a good agency. If I were to join an agency, I'd like it to either be Hololive or FaZe. I like FaZe because they make coffee of their talents. Imagine what it'd be like having coffee of you. Having a Talia coffee is like it's a dream of mine. Even if I never join an agency, maybe I'll make coffee beans of myself. If I ever got like a decent following, that would be a dream. But also, there's some. I'm not mentioning him this time. I'm breaking the streak. I can't continue with this. I'll never join an agency if I keep doing that. I'll just be shadow banned forever. Nobody will ever come to my streams, and that would make me sad. I mean, I want a job. If being a VTuber can be a job, then I mean, I don't have to do anything more than what I'm already doing, and that's perfectly reasonable and easy, and I enjoy it. So, you know, I want to make money someday. Even if it sells my soul a little bit, I'd like to make money someday. So I don't want to destroy my view count enough that I can never get. Oh no! Wait, but I said Mussolini. I didn't say him. I didn't mention him. I'll never mention him, even if he's been mentioned before. Life is hard. Apparently you need a job. You can't just be some neat staying inside all day like a hikikomori. Apparently you need to like actually get a job. But I can't leave my house and actually applying for random jobs that I know nothing about that are like remote sounds too complicated. And also I never went to high school really, so I don't think there are many jobs that want me. But being a VTuber, on the other hand, it's not about whether you went to high school or not. It's not about whether you went to university or not. It's just about whether you're entertaining on the audition form. They don't even ask about what your education is. The Azusa cat. Oh, yeah, I kind of do. But it gives a very different vibe. It's got a very different balance to the colors. Oh, right, I should turn on the BGM, shouldn't I? Now there's music. There's music for the chat. Nope. I didn't go to high school. I wasn't allowed to. I didn't get the chance to go to high school. It's a long story. It's complicated. But basically, they don't let lions into high school. But yeah, I have no education. I tried, but the program that's, they don't offer GD, and the program that's available to me is just, no. It's like near impossible. Because it feels so poorly written that you can't actually tell what's going on. So I've tried before, and I can't get one. But anyways, I'm like a failure of a person and don't know how to get a real job. So I want to get streaming cred and then join an agency who will pay me money and make merch of me. That would be fun and easy, relatively. And I just need to continue doing what I'm doing, and I like what I'm doing. So, but yeah, I want a house. I want to have an apartment to live in. Yeah. And only if I could get paid for being cute. If someone give me $1 million to just sit there and be cute, please. Pretty please. And I say it like that, pretty please, and like blink my eyes. Please, give me $1 million. Yeah, I'm more of a girl failure than anyone in FaZe. I didn't even go to high school. I one-upped them so hard. Hi, welcome. Yeah, but I don't think I'm quite entertaining enough. I'm not gonna make it, guys. I'm not gonna make it, bros. I can't even stay with my parents. So I gotta figure something out eventually. Or else I'm doomed. I don't want to be homeless. Husband, we are homeless because you spent all money on Fumo. What happens to the Fumos when a person becomes homeless? I don't know how. I've never tried before. I don't watch enough. Tired wife. Lions do not have the the announcement is just a joke. It's an April Fool's joke, but I'm just a teensy bit silly and I didn't quite put it on the right date. If I ever do a crazy if I ever graduate, trust me, the thumbnail is gonna look better than that. it would be too silly to graduate with an MS Paint thumbnail. At least one that bad. Hello. Hello. Yeah, if I graduate, it's gonna be much bigger affair. And also, I wouldn't graduate unless I've got like something new in store. Because if I disappear again, I can always just like disappear and come back. It's harder to come back if you graduate. Everyone's just expecting you to be gone. Waifu, we are homeless because you waste money on Fumo. The reason Natalia is such a good manager at Laboratory Corp is that when she went through the procedure, they didn't find any brain to cut a piece of. Did you know that they stole Mussolini's brain? They stole Mussolini's brain. Maybe I'm just more interesting now, but they stole Mussolini's brain when he died, and then the Americans stole it, and then they dissected it and kept it in a museum and refused to return it to his wife for ages because they wanted to find out the secret behind his evil, or something crazy like that. They tried to accuse him of having syphilis, but no, his brain was perfectly normal, at least from what they found. But there's only so much you can find about a brain when it's like days old mush. It sounds so unscientific. I can't believe that any government would actually go about such a thing. They just dissected his brain, you know? I don't know, they put it under a microscope or something. They just took a bit of it and put it under a microscope. His wife had to be like campaigning for years to get his brain back. But since I'm a lion, I'm lucky. Nobody could ever do that to me. Because I have no brain to be stolen. If you don't have a brain to be stolen, you can't steal it. I feel the same. Every time I watch a Hololive VTuber, they graduate immediately. Like I was watching Mume the other day, and then right before Fauna graduated, I was watching Fauna, and now I'm scared because I watched an Ina stream a little while ago. Now I'm scared that Ina's gonna be next. I'm terrified. But they were saying that they were looking to try and find out the secret behind his evil. How could a person ever be so evil? Which doesn't make sense. Thank you. You should campaign to get my brain back. My brain is very valuable in study. But well, his brain, he had been shot and then hung up. What's there to find out from his rotting brain? Should I do cute sounds? How is it so difficult to be a girl in stream? This is why we need me. Oh no, it's my fault. No, Ina can't leave. She's I mean, at least Rara isn't gonna leave. I'm glad she's not gonna leave anytime soon. I mean, that would be too weird if she left right after debuting. That wouldn't make no sense. Oh no. Oh. I don't want anyone more to graduate. I miss them so bad. Like everyone I watch, man. I need to stop watching Hololive streams because everyone I watch keeps disappearing. Immediately after I watch one. I watch a stream for the first time in a while and I'm like, oh, this is fun. And then they disappear. Their graduation announcement gets released a week later. Oh, I'm terrified. Maybe someone stole my brain. Maybe that's the reason that I'm like this. Alongside Mussolini's brain, they found his lion, and then they stole her brain too. Maybe that's how I became such a mindless, brainless creature. Did you know that there's that new Toho Fortune book that came out a while ago? Hang on, and there were like the Chirno fortunes. Hang on, let me find Chirno's fortune. Chirno got this new fortune slip for herself, and you can pull it if you're particularly unlucky. And it went number 3, the wrongest luck. Chirno, more or less able to manipulate ice. You actually pulled me. Stick with me. I'm the strongest. Health. You won't even notice that you've caught a cold, so you're fine. Education, you will be an excellent idiot. Travel, it'll be fun, but you won't return. Like, what is that? That sounds so ominous. Missing item, you'll forget the things you've lost and the things you've done, so don't worry about it. Love, there will be good omens, but you'll never notice them. Yeah, that was the rest. That was the whole thing that's leaked so far from the new book. Not much of it's been translated yet. I can't wait to see that. I like the old fortune slips that Zen did. I think I got excellent luck, the Reimu Omikuji. But believing in that kind of thing, not good for you. Not good for you. Is this a good time to stream, or are not enough people, like, awake at this time? I gotta wonder. I feel like my view count has dropped from, like, 18 to, like 12 lately. My average view count. Which is weird, because I'm getting more view hours. But I guess that's because I'm, like, it's been since the Lobotomy Corporation, the first one, they got, like, a good amount of views, really. I think it got like 75 hours of something of watch time. What's the chat censoring this time? I mean, have you guys ever encountered this watching other VTubers? Do you guys not watch other VTubers? Am I the only one? Are you loyal to me? Are you super loyal? I love my loyal black shirts, man. Oh! Right. Maybe I should start streaming an hour earlier, just to, like, cope with daylight savings. But then again, I did get, like, plenty on the Lobotomy Corporation stream, so I don't know what's going on. Collapse. It doesn't do the word collapse, but only sometimes. No way. No way. Doing a stream when my audience is asleep decreases view numbers? Okay, I'll probably do like a daytime stream next time. But like, I don't always have the best hours that I can stream. It works for you because I wake you up. Brain rot. But then the other one didn't do that well. Thank you all for watching, even though you don't watch other VTubers. I wonder if that means that I don't appeal to regular VTuber fans. I'm gonna pull you guys into the whole... I never really get people watching, like, that don't speak Japanese watching JP VTubers, though. I've never been able to do it. I've always wanted to do it, because, like, Pekora and, like, everyone looks cute, and, like, the clips are so fun, and they look like so much fun. But then, like, they're in Japanese, and the chat's all in Japanese, so I don't really get the appeal if you can't, like, chat in the chat. And you can't, like, understand what they're saying. And it seems so weird that people watch Japanese VTubers without speaking Japanese. I mean, maybe they all do just speak Japanese. Maybe whenever someone says, oh, I like Pekora, they speak Japanese. I guess they do sound cute, but I might as well just watch the clips at that point. I might as well just watch anime. I might as well just watch anything, because, like, in cute Japanese, when I went to Japan, I was, like, shocked. I was just so shocked by just how cute they all sounded. I mean, I know it's a weird thing to be, like, walking around going, oh, this person's so cute. Look at the person. Look at the... just gawking at how cute random people sound. And that's probably a little bit inappropriate, so I tried to hide it. But every time someone spoke, I was just like, oh, they're so cute. Oh, why are they so cute? It was so cute. I guess they do have good energy, but it just doesn't feel the same. I prefer to see yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you for watching me as a friend, and thank you for the people that watch me as a VTuber. I appreciate both. I appreciate all of the views. I mean, Japanese is a really cute language too. But like, I just don't get the appeal if you can't understand it. I like watching clips of Japanese VTubers, but I like watching the clips, but I can't stand just watching them. Sometimes they'll pop up on the YouTube homepage, and I'll go on it, and I'll be like, oh, wow, so much fun. But I leave after a few seconds because I don't get the appeal. I just watch English VTubers most of the time. Thank you guys for watching me. Thank you. And maybe the Saya streams just don't appeal to the audience of like VTuber watchers. Maybe they only appeal to hardcore Italia fans. I guess it makes sense. I'm not reacting to the VN that much. I'm kind of like there are better people at it, you know. Most of the time I'm just reading off things on the screen. It's a soothing voice to listen to, but not much of a chat thing. I would expect myself to be better at reacting to it, but I guess it just doesn't really speak to me in the right way. I feel like I'm better at like the things that people would do for VTubing when I'm alone and not actually on stream. And maybe it's an illusion, but I feel like I'm just better at talking to myself randomly and reacting to random games when I'm alone. The Saya stream didn't appeal to any sane person. And we're gonna have another one, but it's not gonna be next stream. I'll take a break from Saya. But I'm worried because the Lobotomy Corporation view count's also dropping a little bit. I wonder how to fix it because I want your pocket change. I want to steal your pocket change as fast as possible. Someone give me $2. I'm begging like a homeless person. I'm a homeless person. Husband, we are homeless because you buy so many fumo. Saya stream has made your rat appeal. Thank you. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. As long as you enjoy it, ultimately that's what matters. Saya scares you. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Saya's kind of scary. I feel like people came in the chat, realized what we were streaming, and then disappeared too. Yeah. But I do want at least 500 subscribers. I wanna unlock channel memberships even if nobody buys them. I wanna unlock donations even if nobody makes them because I feel like I'm not a real VTuber until I get there. Maybe I'll just never be a real VTuber. So I'm a real niche internet micro celebrity? Wow. With my following of 125. Also, we haven't gotten the full of like Italia's audience. There's still my old channel who has like more subscribers than this one, even though I've been streaming for like a month now on this channel. I'm kind of sad that I lost all of that momentum. Maybe I'd be like better. Maybe I'd be so much further in my VTubing adventure if I had stuck with that, but I couldn't stick with it because my computer wasn't working, so ultimately, who cares? There's a rat called Saya in Blue Archive. Is it a Saya reference? Oh, I love Saya. I don't want to know about the rats. Yeah. Oh, no, not Twitch. Twitch scares me. I've never even used Twitch. You don't want YouTube to track you. So true. Chinese bot farm. I think YouTube like actually checks the accounts though, apparently. But maybe they're just lying to the masses like the CIA. The CIA, you know, the CIA is clearly behind all of those cop shows that are like, oh, there's some big government conspiracy. The CIA is so competent. And it's not. The CIA knows nothing about you. The NSA knows nothing about you. They can't keep an eye on you. So they just want you to think that they're keeping an eye on you so that you behave yourself. In reality, yeah, it's all meaningless. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's better than the debut stream. Much better than the debut stream. And maybe I should react to the debut stream. Ooh, not Five Nights at Freddy's. I need to play something with mass appeal, though. What kind of games have mass appeal? Saya isn't quite mass appeal, but not Lobotomy Corporation either. Though I have seen some VTubers do Lobotomy Corporation. Oh, Wuthering Waves doesn't exactly work either. What's the game of the month now? Isn't it like Monster Hunter Wilds? The other thing is those games are expensive. I'm not paying $100 on a game if I don't earn any money from it. I like to stay in the positive. I spend $0 and gain $0. That's the ideal. All I waste is time. But it's not a waste of time if you guys enjoy it. Your enjoyment is worth all of my sacrifice of time, but not with any of my money. Because that's life. I don't have any money to spend because I spent it all on fumos. Gonna be homeless now. The flavor of the month games, like, is Lethal Company and Repo is new? Oh, right, yeah, the new flavor of the month game is Inzoi. but they're expensive still, sort of. They still cost money. Spending money. And it's not that cute. Oh, maybe that's my problem. I only play cute stuff. I only like cute stuff. And I'll only touch something if it's cute. But flavor of the month appeals to normies. I do like Class of 09, to be honest. And it's kind of controversial because the guy who made it is like a total douche, but I actually really enjoyed playing it. I found it quite funny, especially like the endings with the guy that I'm not going to mention because remember, we're breaking the streak. Oh no, not Fortnite. Then again, Fortnite does have Hatsune Miku now. I would love to just scream the N-word at little kids playing Fortnite. That would be so much fun. Oh, maybe I should have played maybe I should play the incest game. Maybe that'd give me followers. I think the views are rising as I keep talking. So maybe I just need to keep talking, and if I keep talking, plenty. I'll get there eventually as long as I never stop talking. 24-hour stream when? 48-hour stream when? No, it's not a mention of Funny Uncle. No, I must break the streak. I can't continue with it. No. Oh, yeah, War Thunder. Does War Thunder really have mass appeal, though? And it doesn't have any cute anime girls. But you know what I should play? I actually have a physical copy of it, like the Girls in Panzer game. No. I'm not falling for that. The guy who is in charge of Germany in 1943, I don't know him. Nothing to do with me. I know nothing about German history. How would I know? I think he was a painter. I don't know anything further about him. So you can't? Can you not watch me while you're at school? Can you just put on the headphones and then have me on your pocket? In school I was quite delinquent and all I would do is play Toho and skip class. Yeah. I'm a girl failure incarnate. Wait, what Yasuke Simulator? You mean like that crappy Ubisoft game that just came out? The one with the big controversy? Yeah, maybe I should play that. Except the problem is I would be playing as a Yasuke. And Yasuke, do you know what Yasuke is not? Yasuke is a lot of things, but he is not cute. I can say that for sure. Wait, what's $5? What game is $5? Maybe I'll play a game if it's only $5. Then again, that's like $5 USD, which is more in me money. Oh, I think ZZZ is kind of normal, but I don't think I'd get like more viewers from playing ZZZ, you know? I think it's too niche. Oh, wait, really? Yasuke Simulator? There's an actual Yasuke Simulator? Hang on. Yasuke Simulator. I want to play that then. I want to play that. I'll play that. It's on sale. I'd play that, probably. It sounds funny. So, it's just like riffing on it? Sure. If you guys want me to play Yasuke Simulator, we can play Yasuke Simulator next stream. I don't play Needy Streamer, but Needy Streamer costs more than $5. So, I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend money. I could pirate stuff, but I'm running this on Windows, and I don't trust my ability to avoid viruses on Windows, especially if I'm plugging in a webcam to my computer. I do not trust that. P-Town, you're exposing yourself. Hi, P-Town. Welcome to our chat. Oh, so what's Yasuke Simulator like? Otherwise, we could react to stuff. React stream. React to like Reddit or something stupid like that. We could just read unlimited Reddit. We could go through like 4chan reaction stream maybe. I feel like that'd be funny, but there'd be like too much porn to be safe. Then again, there are safe words. Maybe a 4chan reaction stream would be interesting, actually. Reddit reaction. Okay. Maybe we should do the Yasuke Simulator. What's it like? I mean, it's $5. Does it need to be nicer than a Roblox game? Honestly, it looks pretty good for $5. You know, in in complexity. It kind of just looks like an actual game, you know? Oh, but why does it require 8 gigabytes of RAM or 60 gigabytes of RAM on Windows 11? That is 10 gigabytes? It's 10 gigabytes big? That's huge. That's like bloat, man. I was worried that this game would not be historically accurate, but my worry was put at ease when the hip-hop music started playing. Hang on. Let's react to the Steam reviews of that. Okay. Yeah, r/history means okay. Reddit r/history memes. Let's do that. Okay. Let's okay. It's for Bitcoin, man. Mining. Yeah, to be fair, I don't expect something to be optimized if it's just hang on. Window capture. Hard to tell. Okay, there. How do I make small? Yeah, to be fair, I don't expect something to be optimized if it's just less scathing going on Reddit. Okay. This looks funny enough. Okay. We'll make chat. Okay, we'll put chat to the side. Try not to cringe challenge. Take a shot every time it's cringy. I don't have any alcohol. I stopped drinking for Lent, but we could do that sometime. Okay. Oh, is there an echo? Oh, okay. Actually, I can fix that. Hang on a sec. There. The echo capture should be fine. I muted the tab. Is the echo still there? It starts with a Jew post! Oh my gosh, this is already so cringy. No, the first post is bad already. No, that's awful. Oh my gosh, life for Jews in Europe before World War II. Life for Jews in Europe during World War II. Life for Jews in Europe after World War II. No. How could it start like this? Is it all this bad? Did we just get unlucky? Is it all this bad? 6 hours ago. 6 days ago. Oh, no. We can't handle Reddit. Reddit is... The Crusades were essential to protect Christian Europe. Oh my gosh. Oh, no. This is... I'm not gonna mention him. I'm not gonna mention the painter. I'm not gonna mention the funny painter dude. No, never. The first post, and then you get just a couple of no. Okay, the third post down. No, the third post down is oh, this is bad too. Something saying Japan bad, World War II, ha, Imperial bad, Axis bad, it's all just Axis bad. Oh no. European Empire in themselves, European when an outsider attacks them. Oh, I mean, that one's not that bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not that stupid. Oh, it's just white people bad. It's just Western civilization bad. Oh, no. This is so shitlib. No. And then the Crusades were essential to protect Christian Europe. The Crusades protecting Europe, Byzantine Empire, Fourth Crusade. The face you're seeing now is Italia cringing. No. Okay. No, we can't do that. I expected there to be at least a little bit of sanity first. I didn't expect it to be that bad from the get-go. Bye. I didn't expect it to be horrible from the get-go, man. I expected it to be bad, and I expected it I expected there to be some bad and there to be some good. It is scarier than Saya. But then again, Saya's kind of Reddit too, given how much needle rare there was in that. That was... I mean, the horrifying thing is not the blood or the gore. No. It's the cuckery, the sheer cuckery in Saya. Yeah, I mean, Reddit was normal. You remember when Reddit was just like people, like, the thing that you would search up when you had a tech problem, and then you'd scroll down and you'd find the answer to the tech problem. That's all I ever used Reddit for. But lately, it seems, in recent years, it seems Reddit's gone crazy. And it's crazy how they loved Elon Musk before. He was like the personification of Reddit. And now Elon is just hated by Reddit. Yeah. It was just ace. I deprive you of sleep and then give you cancer. But Reddit wasn't always this bad. I mean, it was bad, but this is worse. It's gotten worse. I mean, it's getting worse. I don't think I've ever used IRC or forums, to be honest. But by the time I was like terminally online, YouTube was a thing, and I was terminally addicted to YouTube and nothing else. I just used YouTube. There was a debate fascism Reddit. I've also never used Reddit, to be honest. Yeah, Reddit's the annoying bit is just how useful Reddit is, and then just all of the horrifying shit library on it. Man, like there's libcucks, there's Sayacuck, and then there's libcucks, and I think one of these is even worse than the other. Saya deserved better. Saya didn't deserve that, man. I wonder how she would be if she had someone other than Fuminori. Does the view count go down every time I mention Saya? Have I traumatized chat so badly? Oh yeah, I forgot what happened to Tumblr. Honestly, they should have just been contained. Banning, it just contained them. I actually really like Tumblr as a concept. You know, the cross between the social media blog and the like actual blog was it was really neat conceptually. But then the people who came to Tumblr, oh no, just Fujos, like really bad. The type of people that were writing on AO3, and so Tumblr just became contained with the same nonsense that AO3 was, like that's fanfics. Oh, one time I stumbled across a fan Saya with a rat on my head. The first horrible thing I ever stumbled on the internet was a bad fanfic. I never recovered since. That is what led me today to be reading Saya on stream in front of like the 10 to 15 people. Anyways, 10 to 15 people saying stupid things on stream live to the world, exposing myself. Italia exposed. Man. Saya. Maybe I should just make cute noise like the cat archive of our own React stream. That would be too painful. Hang on, actually, no, my hands are up. I can't do that. I can't do that. I mean, even if I choose something that isn't just like straight up porn. No. Started to. Maybe. No. Maybe I should just say no. You know how people have stuff that goes at the end of the sentence, like nya. You know, sentence nya. What if I speak a sentence and then just say nya after it, nya type thing? And what if I just say nyo instead of every time I say nyo? I forget what those things are called when an anime girl has like a quirk, like how Marissa says. I actually don't remember what Marissa says. Maybe it's my fault for not paying enough attention to her. But what are you going to suggest? I want to see what you suggest. I mean, it can't be the golden core transfer. Yeah. Oh, does it? Yeah, does it? Yeah. Sentence, does it? No, it's not a suffix. It's when you say something after a sentence randomly, like how Marissa just says "does it." I mean, I think it's proper in sentences. And like how Pekora has like pickle. yeah. Maybe I should just say nya. Yeah, no, this is an actual thing that goes at the end of the sentence in like a Japanese. It's an actual part of the sentence, but saying like does it, you know, it's like a tick. I mean, basically, a sentence ender. I feel like there's an actual term for it. All right, thank you. It's sort of like a tick, but. I don't think that people. I think there's something that people actually use to refer to it, like a sentence nya. Oh, I keep saying sentences, but I'm not putting nya after it. It'd be kind of annoying if I actually put nya after a sentence. Right. I can't roar very well. Right. Yeah, this is something that actually belongs on a sentence. Peko and does it and nya or not. Nya. A sentence nya. And what if I say a sentence nya? And then the VTubers are to do that, like drop it after 5 streams because it's just too annoying and difficult to say. Nya. I'll stop now because that's too ridiculous. You guys would even get sick of my nya, my cute little nya nya nya, meow type thing. What did you say? What did it say it's censor? The YouTube censors are too cruel. Maybe next stream will just be a normal chat stream. Meme. Nya. Meme nya. And too many things are just getting censored here. I wonder if Jacob saying slurs. If I just had to Jacob randomly inserting yeah everywhere, that would be better than saying the N-word every 5 seconds. I wonder if people with Tourette's, I wonder if they can't become streamers. I wonder if people with Tourette's who just say stuff like that can't become streamers. Then again, I wonder if like a kid with a Tourette's who shuts out the N-word every 5 seconds probably wouldn't even survive to the age where they can go on YouTube, I feel. But yeah. Clipping all the moments Natalia said master while reading Yo's line. And then yes, for malevolent purposes. Hi, master. My only. There's something I want to say, but it was way too out of context. Oh, I want to hear your demon's voice now. You should tell me like after stream or something. You should tell me later. But yeah. But how bad can it be? How bad can a demon voice be? Hanya, master. Saying funny things is just funny. Maybe if I say nya enough, I'll attract a crowd of parasocial viewers who will give me millions of dollars. It's creepy because it's prey. I'll agree that he doesn't sound like a demon, you know, in real life. Or does he? Why is it uncomfortable? You should be enjoying every minute of me. I'm not cancerous. I'm the cure to cancer. I will cure all of your ailments if you just keep watching me, and make everyone around you watch me, and make everything watch me, and I'll take over the world, and I'll cure the world just like Saya. My dream is to be loved and to love enough that I spread my spores all throughout the world and turn everyone into my mindless flesh monster slaves. Don't you guys want to be mindless flesh monster slaves? Or maybe I'll just turn you into lion cubs. And I'll be at the top of the pack. Nobody can defeat me. The fight. Yeah! Very finally. I will conquer all with my nya. I'm really not defeating the house cat allegations when I say nya instead of roar. You wish you could be parasocial, but you'll simply be a good supporter and watch your favorite VTuber lion. The whole world turning into me would actually be terrifying. This is the ideal world. Everyone becomes a lion who is a slave of Italia. Like Herda has a herd of bots. You shall all be my slaves. Imagine the mold. Well, I'm spreading through the mold spores, pray. So there's gonna be a lot of mold, just like Saya spreads through her mold spray. You have enough parasocial relationships with your mutuals, you can't have a VTuber. No. No, I don't know the MGM opening. Lovecraft elder god assimilating Earth, sleeping and turning it into Italia. It's too scary, turn it off. Too scary. It would be a perfect world where everyone is a fascist lion. It's a terrifying fate. It's a perfect fate. You should all become lions like me. If you were lions, you would see why you should be like me. Anyways, you guys, I should probably end stream sometime. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. And yeah. Good night. Yeah. Bye. Good night. Good night, everybody. Bye bye. Bye, everyone. Good night, everybody. There's such a huge delay between when I say goodnight and when it gets to the stream, when it actually airs. Good night, everybody. Bye bye. Bye. Bye bye. Good night. Nya. Good night. Good night, Nya. Take care, Nya. Nya. Good night. It's not night where I am, it's like morning. Good night, everybody. Good night. Thank you all for watching my stream. I hope you all enjoyed it. Good night times like 1 billion million. Good night. Bye bye. Bye bye. Good night. Bye. Wow. My mouse isn't even moving. It's a sign it's not meant to be. I'll be back someday. I will be back someday. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.